So it's pretty simple to see, right? Like when you're a toddler, you get the six talking points of organizations right away. Um, they left out the delusional stuff. There wouldn't be any solid evidence that they're lying, but for some reason, there's always this little thing they add in the story when it goes on that is like a huge red flag. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure it's because they're robots and they have a pre-programmed dialogue, and everyone playing the game in their own cubicle gets the same dialogue and events and shit because it's all a real simple story here. But you can see right, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they have like four wives and a ton of kids, and then they use their Bible to tell you to only have one kid because the Bible isn't for them, it's for their slaves. The Bible isn't the master race manual that's for colonizing the northern hemisphere mostly. Although they've taken it everywhere, it's just like they've got like 1,000. It's whatever people will beg to survive when they have the sword at their throat saying, I'm going to kill you like the rest of your family if you don't worship me. So you already see that there, that there's, that happening. That makes sense, right? You're Italian or Egyptian pharaoh, and you need to have lots of kids because you're the best Nazi on the planet and everyone else is less than you. You would think Hitler would have 1 million kids or something, but for some reason they don't report that. Um, it's almost like they're made there's a bunch of lies in that story. Imagine that there's a lie somewhere. A human is told a lie. Oh, you just don't tell me it's true. I've never heard of it before. You sound like one of those evil Grinches who don't believe in flying invisible glow in the dark reindeer. NASA rocket reindeers. So you can see in the pre-Trump stuff that I posted a long time ago when I posted that website, the entire agenda, if you couldn't get it from every other agenda. And they tell you that too. They warn you about that. In the pre-Trump agenda, they're like, yeah, hurry up and get a wife, get a wife, get a wife, and have a bunch of kids, and that's all it is. It's just like they don't even care about having sex, touching, being intimate with a woman. They don't care about having an intelligent woman. Their first foremost thing is have a bunch of kids because then when you have boys, you'll have more soldiers to go kill and steal and rape for you. And then when you have girls, then you'll be able to have even more soldiers come out of those girls to go kill and rape for you. So you can tell real fast their priorities and the reasons behind it. You can tell all that stuff. Like I said, it takes one or two sentences to understand the majority of people's entire lives. And no matter, they don't they don't have to throw in those little weird glitches where they say stuff that's not even that like is proving that they're a robot on a network, or giving you a quest line, or uh, updating the. I doubt there's many quests here, but updating the storyline as if there's ever an update. Just promoting it, or the little events. They'll be like, I was gonna do this, but I'm not now. It's like, well, you just should just say you're not gonna do it before you do it, and you could just leave that part out, and no one would ever sit there every second they're with you and think about, I wonder when they're gonna do what they said they're not gonna do, huh? 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 It's almost like they're walking toasters with the inability to create their own dialogue. Huh? Huh? Anyway, so you can see that right in the Daily Stormer. That's what they say. And then when Musk took over X, that was the first year. It was just it was the second year. It was just all the Daily Stormer propaganda on repeat because like a propaganda pamphlet. You know, it's like one piece of paper with like 5 directives on it. It's not. They might if they create something bigger in a pamphlet, they'll put a bunch of fillers in it, like "My Struggle" and Hitler's Mein Kampf, and it tells you it's just language, which is fucking useless. And so it's just filling it up, and then it's designed to paint a picture around the 5 things on the 1 page goals and propaganda thing, to lullaby your mind to sleep and to show you how great and beautiful it is and all that shit and all. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, it's hard to explain to people. Don't read books. Fucking what a book is, or aren't fucking award-winning writers what the fuck a book is. But it's a waste of time. There's a story. There's 5 things that happen in a book, and there's 10 million. There's 20 decadillion of these books. They're like this thick with 1,000 pages. But in reality, the only thing that happens in the story is there's a dragon and a knight and a princess that's kidnapped. And then the knight goes and kills the dragon and takes the princess back home. How can I get people to pay for that? 10 trillion, 90 decadillion times over and over. If there's 20 decadillion books, that means there's been frickin' infinity sold. How can I do that? Well, I gotta fill the pages in between with a bunch of dumb bullshit. Fucking, what color armor did the knight have? I know you're dying to know. But wait, there's more. We'll find that out later. What color hair did the princess have? It was long and silky, but he only caught a glimpse of her in a dark cell, and he doesn't know, and, well, the hero himself doesn't know. So, stay tuned. 200 pages, 20 hours later, we'll both find out. Now we're in it together. We're all in it together. Except for the writer of the book, he's in his hot tub without you and smoking his crack without you. He's not in it together with you. You're going to have to find some time cleaning in between cleaning his toilets to read the book, right? He doesn't need to read the book. He wrote it. Fucking had a computer generate a new version of it for him. And, all that 10 seconds hard work it takes to do that. All that hard work it took me to become the best artist I've ever fucking seen and to create the best art I've ever fucking seen in this world. All that hard work. Oh, shit. Anyway, so you got your pamphlet that tells you talking points. That's the main thing. Just like in a book, you can find out the entire purpose of the story by looking at the foreword or the back page, and there'll be 1 to 3 paragraphs. And if there's 3 paragraphs, it's like drawing it out. It's like, will you be able to find out what color the prince's hair is? And the hero doesn't know either. Oh, the suspense is killing us. Well, we won't find that out till later, but in the meantime, there's a knight and a dragon, and the dragon may or may not have kidnapped the princess. What's this book even about? It could be about taking LSD till our brain starts to melt and we see swirly colors. We'll never know until we buy it. There's, for some reason, a foreword, a preface, and the back summary. Never use words like that, and it's just like, oh, well, there's a knight, and he's got brown hair and silver armor, and then there's this chick he met at the gay bar. looked like a chick. He wasn't sure. It was in a completely black room, but it didn't sound like a chick, but he thought it was a chick because that's what people do. And then, that's way too long drawn out. It's just like, oh, and there's a knight with brown hair and silver armor, and then the dragon captures the fucking princess, and then he goes and kills the dragon and gets the princess back. The end. It's a heartwarming story about love, loyalty, courage, and bravery, and fighting dinosaurs, and making me lots of money every time you buy these books too. So, will this be the end? Is the dragon really dead? You're gonna have to buy the second and third book to find out. So preface is going to be like your pamphlet that you pass out and shit to grab attention and state your goals and stuff, right? I got a book over here of goals, in case you're not gonna. I got a book. No, wait a minute. Which book is the goals? Who knows? Oh, that's a new one. Okay, so this one right here, we just have preset events, right? I got like 6 things on each page. I'm summing up. I'm creating a book with all the preset storylines in Earth that were here when I arrived. And each one is like, literally, we got 20/20 vision. It's not even a whole sentence. It's just 20/20 vision. And tied to Esther, not even full sentence. Gwar, I think you ought to know this, 96. Snog, New World Order Music, 96. Here's a long one. World War II, America looting Germany for houses and to kill the German men in USA that they send to kill the Germans so their new trans mothers could destroy their kids. That's about the longest preset event. I just summed up half of fucking Earth's history right here. This has been like, what, 600,000 hours, and I just summed up the entire Earth. Half of it in 2 little short, tiny book pages, right? The book's smaller than my hand. It's the preface to the book, pretty much. Preset events. What do you know is happening? Literally. I didn't title it that, but it's preset events, so it's the preface. What do you know is happening in the world? What do you know is happening on Earth? Stay tuned and find out. Gwar thinks you ought to know this. Oh, there was a war. Oh, the Masons are having slaves do dumb things like build useless pyramids. What will happen from that? 20/20 vision. Sight is given. What do they see? Once you get to chapter 97 trillion, you'll find out. Why must you be taught to live in fear of pedos in Hollywood? And taught by people who are from Hollywood and probably pedos. To say probably is like, you're really like, Epstein didn't know what he was doing. Oh, thank God. We thought this guy was evil or something. Anyway, so that's literally the preface to Earth right now, and a few things that might be missing. Like, we don't have to include the Gwar and the Snog, but it is kind of like, it is relevant. It's a little bit repetitive. We could just stick with the Mason work, creating dumb things like pyramids to drain people's lives and throw their money away on useless piles of sand because they don't need any money. Why? Why do they do that? You see what I'm saying? We don't even include that in the preface. We don't even go on to say, like, why do they even need the money? What are they doing with the money? We just say, what are they doing? What are they doing with their sand, piles of sand and slavery? Find out in chapter 342. But if you skip ahead to chapter 342, you'll miss all the good stuff, like what color is the sky? What does air smell like? What does water taste like? Spoiler alert. close your kids' ears and your ears. But in the book, little do people know that water tastes different everywhere because it's got a whole bunch of drugs and chemicals in it, and it tastes like the minerals and in the air and the dirt around it, which tastes different everywhere, which makes everything unique and different when you go somewhere, including McDonald's, which is weird because you see these people going to eat McDonald's in different countries, and they're like, I'm glad I got my McDonald's. It's like, first of all, you're in another country. Why don't you fucking eat their food? And why are we wasting our time eating McDonald's there? But second of all, I did it to test it, and you know what? I think it was fresher because they put more care into it in lesser countries. But I don't think it's the same food. It's not one little cow producing 10 million pounds of beef for every city in the world. So they would be having to create their own cows somewhere and their own potatoes. And so to me, some of that stuff didn't taste at all like what it was supposed to be. And it might taste different city to city, but for some reason it doesn't. But you got to think of that logic. Think of how people are telling you when, all these real people, Instagram people reviewing McDonald's in a different country or something like it couldn't taste the same because they would have different meat. It's not like there's like this eternal cow that you just continually chop off a leg, and you have a worker there chop 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 all day for 100+ years. This cow just regenerates that same strip of beef over and over, and like you get more people, like get 20 workers with 20 blades, and they're like chop 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 chop, and just like the beef's falling off, and then you got like 30 people rushing on it. You got a conveyor belt speeding by, speeding all the meat off. Chop. Just one cow's producing all the meat in all the world. So something's wrong. Either those motherfucking people are lying, that it tastes anything like the other stuff, or it's fake shit being generated on the fly, and it actually does taste the same because it's coming from the same ether. Anyway, so back to the breeding thing. So you can see, you got your Musk and your Trump. They have 4 wives, and they ditch them, and then they get a new one, and they have 4 more kids. And then, so this is basic common sense, right? That soldiers go into nations and rape the people, and then now they have children who are on their side. Like America's full of people like that, right? America's full of people who are half Native American, and then so now your mind is forever in a trap because your parents killed your other parent's family, and you're not going to do anything about it because you're a bitch. But yeah, that's the way it works. That's the reason people's, it's like, oh my god, the Nazis invaded me and raped my mom, and so I'm half Nazi. Well, I guess Nazis can be good people too. Well, that's it. Oh, now Nazis own my country and every country around me, and that's it. And well, see you later. Hokey dokey. Um, obviously soldiers knew this. This is a huge part of the world colonization of hope and peace plan. In the Bible, it has a story called Esther where but this is common sense, right? This is what the Romans and the Egyptians did together, probably to co-enslave each other. It was probably the same people at that point in time. Um, if not, one of them was merging. Kaiser was merging with Cleopatra to either they had just invaded and taken over before that, and so they were merging to let we're all Germans now, we're all Nazis now. Isn't that good? Like now we can live in peace and harmony forever. And supposedly there's stories of the Asians who actually did that, and they would like The Europeans supposedly used to do that. They would arrange marriages. You might have heard of that. That's happening right now. We're going to get to that. That's the whole point of this discussion. We're going to get to the hidden arranged marriages and their purpose. And see, when a marriage is arranged in the open, it's done usually, we're told, because two people want to come together. A lot of times it's because one nation is going to kill everyone else in that other nation if they don't start working for them, being their slaves and giving them everything. And then the other group will be like, well, we have our princess is the most beautiful person on this entire planet. Well, how about we just work out a deal here and you come in and marry and destroy my people and erase us slowly over time. That way, because I'm a coward, I am scared of having a sword go through my gut, which is the other option if we can't figure out a way to get you to not come over here and kill us to take over everything and we just give you everything instead. I still want to enjoy those last 20 years of my life in the breathing on the breathing machine and on the wheelchair. Just me, ego, ego, ego. So, my people, my people. Like, well, if we can last 10 more years, so I'm like, trust me, it's not down to my people at that point in time. But, in history, a lot of times that's arranged marriages. We don't know for sure what happened in China because all we do is hear about China. But it's odd. This is the only thing I hear from them about them. Like, you never hear about them being real bad. Maybe Kanye's on to something about who invaded Egypt and it was the pharaohs. Maybe Kanye's on to something there because for some reason, underneath all that hatred propaganda, Elon Musk, they don't push it. They never kill them when they invade them and they kill everyone. It's either respect, which they kind of do have. If you can defeat them in battle, like, to be like, yeah, it is a good battle. It's like that Monty Python skit, where they keep chopping up the guy and chopping off his arms, and he's like, yeah, I've still got an arm left, and you chop it off, and he's like, I've got two legs now, or you still can't beat me. And then they chop off the other leg, and he's on one leg jumping around, and he's like, I'm going to headbutt you and you're never going to win. And he chops off the other leg and he's laying there with just his head and he's like, come over here, I'm going to bite you. This is my ultimate power. It's kind of like realistic and stuff. Barbarians and enslavers aren't necessarily logical. And the fun is the battle, right? When the fun's over, the fun's over. And once you kill all your enemies, if that's what you enjoy doing, then the fun is over. The fun and games are over. What happens when you play a video game and you finally save the princess? Nothing. It's over. The game's over. You aren't like, oh man, I didn't get to kiss the princess. Man, I didn't get to smell her underwear. I don't even know what color of underwear she wears, man. I didn't get to taste her good old fashioned home cooking. Nope. The fun is the entire battle, and the game is completely over when you dump Bowser into the lake of fire and go over there and kiss. Well, it shows a heart between you and the princess, right? But you don't even get to kiss her. It just shows a heart between you two. It's like, ooh, okay, game over. Dun, 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 dun. And then it restarts to the very beginning. Fucking. So, anyways, so you have those things happen, arranged marriages, and throughout history, and supposedly we defeated it, right? We defeated arranged marriages because that sounds like a good thing to do. Once you get a certain age, once you pass infancy, it starts to sound a little weird. Like, obviously, arranged in itself sounds weird. A lot of those people are just prostitutes being sold off to merge two kingdoms. That way, that kingdom bows down and kneels rather than stands up for themselves and has their heads lobbed off in a final battle. So sometimes people might come together for other purposes. But you can see, well, I don't know. Trump does kind of look like he's working with a Russian, and it does look like a Russian girl. Those do look like, Russian and Ukrainian women. He's been dating the whole time, but um, as far as Musk, it's kind of a little bit different there. But he's the president. Fucking. Anyways, so there would be several reasons there, but the majority of times you would merge a nation is when one knows it's lost to the other. There could be two people who are friends and they decide to force their children to get married to each other in order to. Oh, wait a minute. It's always in order to keep peace. So I'd say 60% of the time, just to keep it on a safe side, 60% of the time arranged marriages are because one person is going to kill the other person. And so that's arranged marriage in the open. Now, you have arranged marriages where soldiers, peons, just rush into a nation and stab all the men and rape the women and impregnate them. And now you have more soldiers for you because the children are going to grow up and the parents aren't going to do anything about it because they're obsessed with themselves. Actually, Esther says the robot Esther says the God creating her, telling her to enslave the planet and rape and kill everyone, says do not kill your children. So when Esther comes and arranges a marriage with the leader of a nation, by not telling her she's there to just infiltrate and destroy his people, his family, and his nation. She benefits from the words that Esther says after she says she's going to invade your nation and kill you by acting like she's your girlfriend or your wife. So you can see here, the Nazi pamphlet has very few things to it, but if we get into the color of the color of the armor or the color of the princess's hair, there could be some meat and potatoes to the story, huh? Might be something there, but this is important to me because I have some questions about what happened to my dad. I understand that Esther was a prostitute able to eat right and put on makeup, and so that makes her at least a 9 out of 10, right? She hasn't well, she did come from like some real fucked up looking creatures. One of them, the Esther side, the Agent Smith side, looked like Howard Stern, as Esther's normally do, right? But then there was a different side. I don't think necessarily looked much better, but then again, I don't. It's a guy. Like, you're gay if you think a guy looks good anyway. So I don't think that way about any of them really. So I rate them on a scale of okay or no okay, right? There's like a Howard Stern and there's like Brad Pitt. That's the only thing I fucking see out there. Because there is no scale of 1 to 10. How beautiful is that? It's why are you looking at men and rating men? That's a warning sign. I know a lot of people who gave a lot of warnings before they tried to rape men and shit. Fucking, yeah, but you get the Esther is cooking the frogs in the pot. So, anyways, I go outside and there's all these signs for foster parents everywhere. So apparently, there's a lot of stupid people with no honor, full of disrespect, having kids, or there's a hell of a lot of Nazis out there. Or Nazi is bad because that means nationalist, and obviously everyone with this mentality is not a nationalist. Anyone with this mentality wants to kill and enslave everyone on the planet. There is no limit. There isn't like, oh well, I just want to go kill and enslave 7 houses on my block. If that's what you do, that's what you do. There is no cat outside who's like, well, I'm just gonna prance down this block and across these 6 concrete blocks, and go no further, prance no further. No, no, there isn't. There really isn't too many things like that. Um, but in my life, there's some weird questions there where I'm born, where the people act like my enemies and enemies of sanity and intelligence, and they promote slavery, and their slavery they promote is kind of separate, but it's actually promoted in a book of racial supremacy domination, which just happens to have the exact story of Esther in it, which is telling people to rape, telling women. This is the only use they've found for women in this huge trilogy with 20,000 different books. They've found one use for females. And so that's 50% of them are Nazi warriors. And the other 50% are sitting around, they're Nazi warrior and slavers. And the other 50% are sitting around doing nothing except for producing more Nazi warrior slavers. So, like, let's step inside the mind of a Nazi warrior, I hate that, a fascist warrior and slaver, like a psycho serial killer conqueror, world, serial killer and slaver, fucking, right? Okay, so that person isn't looking at their wife as, oh, I love that person. Now, they might be creating books of mind control manipulation or things where they are convincing you that. And there are cucks too, and there could very well be cucks who are fucking savages. I think actually, a lot of these times, like my ex was what, like the fucking most famous person in the world I've never heard of, highest ranking person I've never fucking heard of and shit. And, but no one walked over her. But I don't give a shit what you think. I am me. And if you act fucking disrespectful or some shit to me, or I think you're up to something, I'm not going to be like, I don't have that hero worship cock syndrome. I'm not like, oh, but it's got a vagina. I better not tell it how I feel. That ain't happening with me and shit. Fuck it. Especially the older I get, the more, it's like fine wine. We age, we get more potent and shit. Fucking, so, anyways, you have that, and that makes it like this person promotes these ideas, they act like these ideas, and they have links they have very little inside of them. It's like a cat. I can tell you what, I've said this before. There's cats across the street, and I can tell you what they're going to do every day, all day long. We're not going to find them playing on a computer anytime soon, are we? We're not going to find them on X telling Trump he's a mean orange guy or something like that. They're going to do exactly what I told you they're going to do, because that's all they do. That's very basic. And so, outside of a random glitch, so this person is many people are like this, but this person, like, I'm telling you, like, I've made videos where I'm showing you. A year ago I told you what they'll say next time I talk to them, and I'm telling you that I know this because this is what they said 40 years ago. And the cat doesn't change. The cat doesn't start liking Brussels sprouts and stop eating tuna ever, right? The cat doesn't stop pissing in the grass if it's been pissing in the grass its whole life, right? Unless it wants to piss you off or something. If it can get that far, if it can get that far. And even then, where's it going to piss? How I'm going to tell you exactly what this cat's going to do when it thinks it's going to piss you off. It's going to charge you like a rhinoceros. That's where that phrase comes from when I mention that, because it's what it does and shit. It's its ability. It doesn't have a horn, but it's got a rhino body. But it's just enraged. It's like a bull. It's a bull who sees red. It's not much going on there. It just flips once it does, and all it can. Very simple. You know what I'm saying? The difference between a fencer or a kung fu martial artist who knows 90 fucking skill sets and a bull charging people is near infinity, right? So, I suspect that might have something to do with things, because literally in the story of Esther, that this person promotes the religion of. There's never racial supremacy. It never existed on this planet. It must have been called something else, and it was. That's right. That's why Lord Kaiser went around forcing all the people to worship him. That's why the Romans, before they wrote the Bible, they had other religions that they went around the world forcing on people. If they didn't write the original Bible and just try to hide who they were, they might have merged with them during that New World Order pyramid meeting they had, but they had already taken over Egypt, so I don't think the merger really mattered because they had already taken over Egypt. So most likely, very likely, we don't see any evidence of any other race being allowed to create a religion. I can't find any. I was looking it up, and their AI, white supremacist AI, is all gray supremacist AI is all like. There's this African religion, Presbyterian Orthodox Africanism. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm as stupid as a computer. Fucking, it's like, the invisible goats. Chinese worship center. Oh, the invisible goat. Oh, it's Asian, ain't it? I forgot Asians invented that. They might have. Kanye West might be onto something if we find the roots of these people, because the roots of these people probably ain't a factory on this earth putting out the clones, and it probably ain't invisible people making them magically appear. It might be a computer generating them and making them magically appear, but that's not in the story, right? That's the learning their story. They is real robots. They got their story, and so anyway, so these people, Lord Kaiser of the Roman Catholic Church. No, wait a minute. They hadn't invented the church yet by the time Caesar had died, right? So what was it? What was it before the Romans invented the two new sections of the Bible? What was it called? It was called whatever it was, just like the Bible. There's 20,000 different ones because each village they killed and took over and raped the children from their product of rape had a new religion. They merged them. They say it was to make them feel comfortable in their home. Makes sense, right? Like, that's. You're like half of me, and I'm a bitch, so I can't kill you because I got no balls. I'm not really a good conqueror. I'm just playing one on TV type shit. Obviously, that's not it. They're just killing everyone and enslaving everyone they can so they can get. They'll kill their own mothers for 2 cents, and they actually act like they like them. Fucking. So, that's, it's more about, well, this land has a lot of land, and we're out of soldiers because we just killed most of them, killing them to take it over. And that also means we don't have any workers. We need more soldiers and more workers. So let's get these children in a good situation and teach them we love them and hope for a better future so they can get to building them aqueducts for us and creating more swords and shields for us so we can go kill their grandparents who live in the village beside them. Because right now we're out of swords and armor and we're out of soldiers. You know, it's an eternal battle. If you know about history, just the battle never ends. It's why we're alive, because somewhere, someone along the way killed our parents and raped other. That's the story, ain't it? And then so they create these mind games where you're fucking stuck in your head about which of your parents you like. The one who got killed for standing up for their rights or the one who got raped for bending over. You know, this is, wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to fucking write that. It's like fucking the preface to Earth. Such fucking. We're trying to boil this down to a pamphlet size fucking summary, I guess, because we'll probably be writing the final book anyways, right? Um, so, which are your parents? Do you worship the one who bent over and got raped? The one who died standing up? A very uncomfortable pen, so I'm writing slow. Maybe the thing I put on it to make it comfortable is getting in the way. As for the one who bent over and got raped. And there we go. Sorry for the break there. Which of your parents do you worship? This is Lord Roman, or anyone who do these things. Which do you parents do you worship? The one who died standing up for themselves, and you. Don't forget that, because someone will try to convince you it's got nothing to do with you. Or the one who bent over and got raped too. Might as well go on that. I mean, I don't need to. I know what it means, but if someone else reads this, the one who bent over and got raped to produce more soldiers to go and kill people who stand up. And rape people who bend over. You think of it, at the point in history we're at right now, you follow the storyline, we're probably all the product, and most people are probably the product of people who bent over and got raped. Because all of our ancestors who stood up for us got killed. Most people, I think, have a history of that. I don't know every nation's background, but I know the nation I'm in background, and the nation I'm in wasn't very populated a long time ago, or we're told that by people who came here to visit for an extended period by illegal immigrants who just won't fucking leave back before the days of ice. So yeah, if you think of it, and a lot of people are probably in this, probably been in this situation for 1,000 years. It's like you don't even know who you are. You got no identity. That's where the book of racial bloodlines becomes so famous in this world. That's where the Bible comes from. It's the only people who have won and kept a book about their bloodline together. Now, China might have shit like that. We don't really know because we're in America, and different people might have that. But that's the Bible. Like my Bible, my mini Bible in there. You open it up and it's telling you, you know, Jesus' father was this person, blah blah blah. His cousin, his aunts, his uncle, blah blah. It's literally like my mom telling me my family tree, except for my mom's not telling me who the royal family is. I'm not sure if she's embarrassed of that or if she's trying to hide it from me because she's scared of it. Um, she's saying she's not embarrassed. She's all excited about it. She's overexcited about it. Um, Hero worship. Those people can never get over other people who are doing things unless they don't give them a bunch of stuff, and then it turns to eternal hatred of it. It may, anyways, probably does every time if they're still alive, you know. But so yeah, anyways, you have that, and so that's like the book out there, and no one's really keeping that, right? Like that was a long time ago. That was the Romans wrote that 2,000 years ago. And then the main one before that was written 6,000 years ago. So there's two famous books across the world of people who think they've got their shit together and can answer this question: which of your parents do you worship? The one who died standing up for themselves or the one who bent over and got raped? Um, because no one knows who their great, 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 great grandparents are. No one has any fucking clue. No one has any time for that shit either. The women I know who talk about that stuff, they don't. That's just a topic of discussion. It's a 30-minute topic, you know, in between for meal time or in between meals or something. Most people aren't like genealogists, right? That's a new word people have come up with there. But the Bible's the only thing that is close to that. You know, no one's ever telling you that when they're promoting the Bible. But that's like the first pages of my Bible is it's fucking it's like listening to my mom talk about the fucking family tree and shit. It's just like, okay, grandma. But that's like what it starts as. I know that's not the original Bible because it's smaller, and I know the original Bible. I'm pretty sure I remember it not starting that way. It's a small Bible, so it's got it's like more to the point. It's it's like this little book I got here. We're not writing a novel. It's basically a book of prefaces, um, talking points. Like right now I'm pulling up this video races. I just got a few things there. We're like making an hour-long video, but it's coming from these two sentences here. Um, Boy, you don't want to hear what I wrote there. Uh, Oh shit. So you probably will. So you gotta slowly turn the heat up. Yeah, because I love doing that. I love doing that. I prefer the pamphlet style stuff. Yeah, it works. I don't think you have time to listen to an hour-long video if someone's coming at you with a sword. Like I could whip the pamphlet in your face and show you like this is how you move your sword up to block the incoming blow. Or I can make you a 2 hour long martial arts video on it and you die while you're watching it. So, um, anyway, so what I see in my personal life, I have that question, and I really, like I have one question I want to answer, though. I answer everything, but there's like 7 questions I've had in my life, and one of them is who my family really is, and isn't that weird? I don't want to know because of the bullshit they say. But they do that. They do that cliffhanger, like the preface that's like, find out what color the princess's hair is. Find out if the dragon lives or not. To get you to read the whole damn book. Like I didn't give a shit about that. That person is always like has said it several times. They ain't got much to say, but they've said that several times, so they're rather proud of it, or it's something I should look for. They also told me I should go look for my other half brother. And it's like, yeah, well, I've traveled. I've traveled like a 1/8 of the world. I was only like fifth. There's only 8 billion people on the planet. It doesn't sound like a lot. When you look at a map, the world doesn't look very big. 8 billion doesn't sound like a big number. But then you realize once you've talked to 200,000 people over 40 years that took a hell of a lot of fucking work. And you probably didn't even talk to 200,000. You probably only talked to about 10,000. So, 10,000, 2 billion. Where's Waldo? I don't give a shit if if I need to find Waldo, I'm sure I'll find him. Um, anyway, so like, I'm supposedly have some cliffhanger here, I'm gonna find out something special and shit. I'm related to someone, Kaiser himself, maybe. My dad does kind of look like that, and my family all looks like my dad after my dad, and uh, I look like him except for I have hair. Wow, I wonder. So you gotta be, but all the leaders look the same. For some reason, a lot of the world leaders look very same, even though there's around fucking 120, 246 fucking human templates. A lot of the world leaders look the same. It's kind of similar, like the ones and shit. Like there's an Egyptian pharaoh who looks kind of like Kaiser. Um, so, anyways, yeah. So the breeding thing that makes me question what's been going on in my life because, right, in my life you have women shipped in from other states and cities to come talk to me, and it's not like, I mean, the last serious. I mean, I didn't consider it serious, but we were together for more than a couple weeks. Um, I didn't trust the person at all. Fucking. Um, I just wanted to investigate why they're in my life, to be honest. So I allowed it to happen. I think that's the same with any interaction I've had since 2016. It's all just about trying to investigate why these people are in my life. But it's weird because when I was younger, too, I would still get that. Like, why is this person showing up and shit? And as I got older, like it became more there. Like, well, is this the purpose of this relationship? Just to find out why this person is here? Because that's all it feels like. That's all I'm doing in it and shit, fucking trying to immerse myself in it, but because I'm there, you know, trying to enjoy the acid trip because I already took it. Um, Not much you can do. Fucking I was questioning why those people were sent into my life. I was questioning that a long time ago, and then once I reached the point where I realized I've got good reason for that. If you take that shit seriously too, like if I took it seriously, or seriously when I was a kid, and my mom was like, "Oh, you're like related to royal people," and I'd be like, I think everyone fucking tells their kids that. I don't give a shit one way or the other. Um, all I know is I want to be around someone like me. And it really doesn't matter if they're incompatible or not. Fucking doesn't. I don't let things like that get in the way. I I know what I like. I know what I like, and I get the idea of the game setting it up on purpose to drag it out, rather than the spoilers and the shit get in the way. And it could be very linked to this discussion right here. Because, hey, it's supposed to be an adventure, a fun story, right? So, yeah. So you have those people. You have, in my life, you have everyone who's been sent who stayed a long time already has other people's children. Um, some people might have stayed a long time, but they were like total whores, total sluts. And they were already having other people's kids and with everyone else by the time they were like 14, 15. It's a weird pattern how, like, the first three I'm with are like 14-year-olds who have children within the year or two. So there's that pattern. Like 3 out of 5, it's a pattern there, right? It's a mathematical equation where you have more of something than you don't have of it. And then the people sent into my life after the first person I was with, like 2 months, I think. And that was weird shit because that's when I noticed Geppetto. A person who looks like Geppetto is always in the picture there. And like that's all I remember about that relationship, and that was really kind of the only one I liked and I was like involved in. Um, I don't know them well enough to know how that could have went, and should I know they didn't have the traits that would require us to be friends. But then again, a relationship isn't about friends, is it? It's about money and nations and uh, fucking raising your army, is it? Um, I always thought it'd be about having a friend you do things with, but I've never seen that happen, so I don't think it is, right? That's obviously not what Lord Kaiser does when he goes to meet with um, Cleopatra, right? He's obviously not like, oh, would you like playing chess? Let's play some chess. I'm going to move my knight over here and checkmate. You're dead. I killed the queen. Technically, it is chess. It just, they're, if they can't play actual chess, they really can't play 3D, 8D chess, right? And they're a little below that level. Fucking, so, you have, um, you have this pattern here of, like, I think 3 out of 4 who I touch or let talk to me for a week. Um, they have kids like and they're 15. The one, like, I guess the one I just talked to for like an hour or something. Uh, Yeah, I don't know how long I was at her house. It was just like an hour, but she gets included because I think I only remember like talking to 4 people when I was 14. And so an hour is a long time to talk to someone, right? And so we have that pattern. And then so the next pattern is the people I meet all already have kids, right? It's like we're already discarding these people over here because well the one is like 13 or 14 with like growing up kids and it's like wow what the hell what the hell's wrong with you and then the next person I'm with they have like 5 kids because my friend uh, stayed in touch with her and found her on Facebook and some by the time she was like 20 she had like 4 kids and I was like well I was with her enough weeks to know like what's up with her but I'd say five right so 4 out of 5 I didn't really like go around the one but she would have been accept like I would have been like oh shit that person has something in common with me so I remember her I didn't really talk to her but she had kids and she was like 14 or no she was 16 she was older than me and shit fucking but she had like 2 or 3 kids fucking anyway so this is a pattern here where they come in and they had that and then the next one the one I actually stayed with after the first I consider it kind of wasn't a real relationship I was just hanging out with my friends and who happened be like Jew pedos and then this other person appears and shit. And I don't really have time for her and shit because my friends don't let other people have time with you. Um, that's a weird thing that they all have in common where I have to like break free by disappearing and shit. Break free of my friendships by disappearing completely. and tends to involve shit like this too. Um, like I said, the one reported back that the other one was 20 with like 5 kids and shit. And it's like, well, good thing we dodged a bullet there. Fucking, um, because he's reporting back because he's sleeping with her, so she's not even with those people. And then the one who I talked to for a little more than strangers, they he reported back to me that that person has a kid and doesn't want anyone to know that she just wanted to have a kid for herself. And like, so she didn't even, she was just trying to sleep around with everyone she found to get. She was probably depressed and she thought a baby was an antidepressant pill or something. She's seen too many TV shows. And that's what TV will do. That shit will fry your brain. And so she ends up like having to quit school and 16, work a job to support her kid by herself. And so these are like the first people I'm meeting. I guess there's another person I stayed with for a couple days, or a couple months, but I always forget that. I always feel like that person was inserted to like break up the other shit. There's the weird memories of Jew pedo. Fucking like how I get like my head gets turned to face the motherfucker because I'm so in control of things in this world and it's definitely not a visual novel that's just a fucking word set in stone that I can easily add up and preface into fucking paragraphs. Definitely not. It just I'm just good at it so I can make the illusion of it appear that way. Fuck. Um, So then after that person, like I only that person came around when I was with my friends for like 2 months, but they already had someone else's kid, and uh, there was another person too. Um, And that person, Geppetto, my friend, my friend again, who was like kicking my friends and keeping my friends away from me when they came around. It's weird how Geppetto is my friend. Everyone I know is my friend who is preventing me from having other friends, and they all look the same. They're all gray skinned with black hair and black eye type motherfuckers. They're real close to it, and they all have the same um, fucking satanic, hateful, groupie type attitude, and it almost seems like that's the purpose of the storyline here. Is they look like Esther, the whore from the Bible, who goes and fucks people to fuck up their life, to destroy the nation of the people they're in, to destroy the person they're having sex with or marrying into. It doesn't matter if they have sex, right? It's the women are just the back, the plan B and shit. Fucking, because then you got to discard the children from that because the children aren't trustworthy. Because again, which of your parents do you worship? The one who raped your father and tricked you into it? Do you worship Esther, or do you worship your father, who Esther paid someone to poison and kill so it doesn't look like Esther did it? Fucking, which do you worship? Well, Esther better kill that kid because that kid's going to kill her eventually, unless he has her IQ and DNA code of being a pure fucking psychopath moron. If he gains the DNA code of the and the morals and values of the ruler of the nation that she's tricking into marrying her to destroy it, then obviously he's going to be like, well, it's a death sentence. You have been judged in my court. I am the prince of the land, and we have the executioner over here to carry out the orders. Very serious thing. Think about it. That's we're not going by any means stretching imagination exactly how you run a nation and what happens when you deal with people who are fucking over your entire life and nation and shit. Oh yes, fucking. Imagine being enslaved your entire life and not knowing it. Imagine what type of vengeance comes back. That'd be like some. That'd be like a king would go around just cleansing the fucking planet and shit, right? Fuck. That's weird because the preface here I have to this book with Esther in it, it's actually what they say is the outcome of their actions. To me, that just signifies their fear and their understanding of what is likely to come if they get caught. It's like what, Esther's got to be smoking crack and have a 49 IQ because she knows that she is going to not ever see the light of day again if she gets caught taking over this nation to kill those people and shit. Fucking, she has to be totally emotionless, which good for robots. They don't actually have emotions, and they can be extremely sick and without any care of morals or values. Fucking so. And then the next person I get has kids, and we're learning something about these people with kids. Is I know for a fact the next one is an Esther. Like the person she's having kids with is an Esther, a male Esther, right? So, Geppetto. And so now when I notice at this point, when these people come into my life, I'm raising Geppetto's kids, Donald Trump's kids, Elon Musk's kids. This is literally, okay, so that first one I just named that came in and stayed long enough for me to consider might have been a relationship, might have actually been dating them 2 months. That person eventually comes back to me, and that's where I meet the first Donald Trump clone. Yep. So she's with him the next time he comes back, and then his clone later works with people who are poisoning me and trying to kill me. Not only that, his clone is Donald Trump, the people who are inventing a whole bunch of fabricated stories in order to cover up my existence on this planet, because that's what they're doing to me, is his fake fraudulent storyline. No one's suppressing him. He owns the media. No one's covering him up. That's his family. He's real famous. No one covered him up. That's a story they stole from me. Just like they created a Sean Jones candidate the same fucking year to further bury me. They put the words out, so if you use the search engine, it erases it. They think they're smart. That's their dialogue, anyways. Their dialogue says they think they're, has them being like, I'm smart, right? But I'm pretty sure that Geppetto is tier 1 robot. They're not. Their book tells you that. Esther's book tells you that they're tier 1 Pinocchio. And the second Pinocchio is a better production model. Just like any vehicle or car you make, right? Any idea you create, tier 2 should be better. Unless you're using AI to slop it up. But even then, my artwork that's AI is like way better than my artwork's ever been. Fucking, if these Hollywood pop bands' first album are the presets and the rest is AI slop, that's why it turns so bad, then that's just their incompetence or or it's designed for it to drop off and become nothing. The music and the drugs support each chapter of this book and immerse you in it and make you feel it's real and it's actually happening, right? You're like, ooh, I'm so excited because of the exciting music. It's the 80s. It's like, I'm on amphetamines. I'm so excited for some reason. Wow. I'm on cocaine. It's so exciting. It's the people. It's the art. It's the bitches with the fucking butts flatter than men and shit. It's the bitches who look like men. 70-pound fucking man and shit. It's so exciting and shit. Fucking, it's the fucking slavery. It's the going outside and listening to egomaniac firefighters tell you the future of the world is fighting fires instead of computers and technology. It's exciting. It's exciting. We're going outside and we're inventing games with rocks. Throw the rock under the car. Hit the wire with the rock. It's exciting, isn't it? Or it's the cocaine and amphetamines. Or they tell me it's the music. Or it's the spinal brain thing is a computer that outside people are destroying and hacking and manipulating you. Or it's the radio waves manipulating you, not just the sounds of the radio. Or what if it was all of them happening at once? Hit the Wire was pretty fun. Hit the Wire. Everyone loved that. Everyone would come down to the house to play Hit the Wire. Best game ever. Fucking best game ever. Cheapest game ever. We played with baseball sometimes, but you didn't need a baseball. Yeah, it seems to be that each see, for me, I don't do all the drugs at once, so I slowly, like, I get my back broken so I can get introduced to opiates because I don't like opiates. I get sick from them and I don't like them. So I never use them. I like imagine a fucking opiate addict with opiate pills on their shelves. Like I keep all my chemicals as long as I can because I'm a fucking chemist and shit. not quite a pack rat, but a person who uses shit eventually, eventually I'd probably strip it for some chemicals and make something out of it, or mix them together and make some new chemicals or something. So I'd keep that shit. And then if it wasn't for me being fucking attacked in whatever unseen method creates the problems with my back, I would never did that. And if it wasn't for me having some unnecessary surgery on my fucking brain and sinuses, I would have never did that either. So I don't think I needed that surgery because it didn't fix the stuff it was designed to fix, and it was really not pointless. But what it did do was massively overdose me on opiates, which broke the barrier to where now opiates are an antidepressant and anti-pain medication. Same thing, isn't it? Fucking, but don't tell the humans that, because they're not going to make any money off making up new bullshit if you tell them something. And I'm introduced to that like slowly each decade. You got people trying to force me into it like the whole time. Like I had people come up out of nowhere. I'm in Mexico. Someone just appears with drugs and shit, fucking, and then shit that I went to concerts and the band members come down from the stage and give me fucking drinks, and it's like, wow, thank you. I never thought that would happen in this world, but it did. So, and it seems to be there's like periods here. I'm forced on amphetamines as a kid. And I think that's mostly for other reasons. So I'm excited or calm. They can't figure it out. They're too stupid. They're selling drugs. That's all we know for sure, is they're making a lot of money by selling fucking drugs, and their people are frying when they take those drugs. And maybe I was being fried too. Maybe that's what happened to the person who was past the 4 grades and was winning awards from the president, to the person who stopped going to school and was still passing school whenever they went back for a Friday test or something, but didn't care anymore. And might be, and my memory kind of like went real shitty around that time. Fucking might be something to do with it. But imagine you hit a rocket scientist with drugs to fry him. Like, what does it do? Like, oh no, he's not wanting to work in NASA anymore. He's just over there inventing fucking things now. He's not working on trillion computer space shuttles. We fried him. He's over there just inventing tons of stuff now. So it's hard to tell, but it feels like it. We're supposed to play along here. And there definitely is. Like, I've noticed that, wow, I've played instruments for 30 fucking years, and I don't remember anything. But as a kid, I knew fucking everything up until around the age of the Esther look-alike, act-alike, story seller, the Bible of seller, fucking started putting me on shit like that sometime around that point in time. It just turned to a battle against Esther at that point. Fucking, so I didn't pay attention. Like, oh, what, am I being fried? Like, I didn't care. Like, right now, it's like, I'm like over here smoking plastic the other day and shit. I'm trying to inhale deadly fucking chemicals that kill other people, and it's doing nothing and shit. I'm taking 100 of fucking hits of acid, and I'm watching other people drop out of the fucking game on much less than that. Taking 100 hits of acid while I'm fucking drinking and smoking and everything else too. Fucking, that's just background fucking noise. Half these videos I make, do I sound sober to you right now? Do you think I am? I am, motherfucker. In other videos, I'm not. So keep your smart ass comments to your fucking self. Because in the other videos, I'm probably not. I might be coming down on some shit right now that really fucking wreaks havoc on your ability in your brain. Um, my pain meds are very, very different than other shit. Fucking very different. Um, it's strongest shit I've ever fucking used when I was monitoring what it actually did. As far as a come down, it's the same exact drop on the roller coaster. It's like, wow, man, I should like lay down in my bed instead of walk in case I forget how to fucking walk and shit. Anyway, so back to Esther, the people sin in my life. So I noticed that the one I stayed a while, I tried to get, and it's weird because they got all paranoid when I started asking them, like, the first one, I was like, who is your child's parents? And they got all weird, like they knew I was interrogating them, and I wasn't yet. This was like something I would later learn in life. I have to interrogate everyone I know in order to have them prove that I don't have a choice to have them in my life and they're forcing their way into my life, because I know that's going to happen. So I'm not interrogating them because I really think I have a choice of who I'm going to be around. I'm interrogating them to monitor their emotional response to me asking questions, not interrogating them at all, but, just standard questions. That person acted weird, so I never got to see, but I assume it could be one of the Geppettos. Esther is just the female Geppetto. That's why they look like the exact same thing. You don't know which one's boy, it's girl. What's that? It's Geppetto or Esther? Who knows? Fucking. So we don't know who that is, but it's weird that shit. Like you have like Donald Trump, clone bringing that one around later, and then I meet the kid, and the kid's talking about some Nazi shit, fucking for some reason, and it's not cool, to do that back in 2000. And he doesn't really seem like the type of person to be into something like that. So something might have pissed him off, and he might be, as far as I know, if it wasn't baiting me and playing along, as far as I know, he had this thing going on in his head. Which of your parents do you worship? The one who died standing up, or the one who bent over and got raped? And but more on the king level of whichever king it was that Esther raped into. Obviously, like I said, you're gonna, once Esther's found out, like the whole nation would hunt her down and stuff. Forget about the kid, forget about the person she's raping and convincing of falsities and a false relationship in order to destroy his nation and the people below him. She's marrying a king just to destroy people below the king. She don't give a shit about the king. She wants the gold, the nation, and she wants to kill one of his workers, one of his minions, one of his military leaders, I think. Yeah, Haman. And so that was weird. And then the next person, that was weird because like they got all paranoid. I get these little things where it twists the human to say and do some really dumb stuff, and it becomes a permanent memory. Like why did it say that? Why did it do that dumb shit? And then it all kind of like, it all ends up being the same fucking, tied into the same shit, like 90% of it. So then we can easily throw in the other 10%. So then the next person, they purposely show me pictures of their ex, right? Like, because you do that, right? Like, first of all, if you have pictures of your exes around, I'm never going to like you. That means you're still obsessed with them. You can get rid of them at some point. You can choose to. You got naked pictures of men you actually know and shit. Like, we are never you are just going to be a prostitute to me and nothing more. You will never. I watch Esther, my mom, fucking obsess over other men while she's with her husband, her current husband, and shit. Like I've I've even told him too, because once or twice I dropped a hint every now and then, but I'm sure he knows. You can tell by his attitude. He fucking knows that he has no choice in life. You can tell. Fucking. So I'd rather not just break the illusion he's creating even more. But and I could tell that she was probably doing the same thing with my dad, thinking of her Porsche, not the man with it, but the Porsche probably that she doesn't have anymore because my dad didn't waste money on shit like that and spend it on his business instead. Um, and she was probably jealous every step of the fucking way because he won't spend every dime he makes on diamonds and furs and instead invests it in its business. And its business is fucking what you have to do to build a business, but don't sell one of these people anything. They're too stupid to pass kindergarten. They can't figure out how to operate money or a business. So the next person, they show me the picture as if I need to see the fucking picture. How many people do you guys date that you go and show your ex-girlfriends to? Like, I'd be showing my girlfriend's picture. You imagine the next girl I date, I show them my ex's picture and be like, yeah, man, this bitch was fire, man. Oh my God. Everyone fucking bowed down, literally. You just walk in the room and people would be like, oh my God, I think it's God in a female's form. Can I lick your feet? Like Jesus does. Can I lick your feet? And be like, check this out, man. This bitch worked in Hollywood, man. She made movies, and she made the best movie I've ever fucking seen and shit as far as art direction. She worked with Donald Trump too. She was fucking decided to buy whatever she want whenever she want. You imagine if I go around my girlfriend, a girl I meet doing that? If they piss me off, I'll do that. Sure, I'll definitely do that. I'll be like, oh man, I really miss those days when I was with someone who wasn't trash. If I wanted to piss him off, I'd do that, right? But I'm pretty sure I've had exes do that to piss me off. But for some reason, this person showed me Geppetto's pic, right? And so I understand that her children, who are autistic and mentally retarded, as we suspect, that we always see it's Geppetto's bloodline who has these conditions, these deformities. It's like their robot model is defective. And then they create a whole fucking thing of, that's not us, oh, it's something else. See, Esther bloodline is defective. That's why Esther does the things she does in the Bible, because only trash does that. And then, so Esther's great-grandson Einstein creates a whole bunch of new Bibles called atheism and scientism to tell you, oh, well, genetic does tell us that would be the case. But you know what? There's also a section of our new Christianity called science atheism that tells us that you're not allowed to talk about our people or anything at all. In fact, you're supposed to be stupid and talk about flying reindeer and give all your money to Elon Musk, NASA scientists, and Santa Claus. Fucking yeah. And they actually have a argument in their cult about who they think God is. And it's a back and forth debate. It's almost like they think God is a person that they tried to invent. God comes from them trying to rape a world leader, and he just magically gets shit out the vagina instead of the mutation they want to come from destroying this person. That's odd. I'm. It's almost like every story here is my life, but it must be. Most of this stuff is happening to lots of people. I'm just the one who can see it. Right? I'm just the only one who cares. I'm just the only one who can see it. Fucking. No, I mean, it takes a lot of time for me to live through this story. A normal person spends their time doing what? Not what I do. Not what I'm living through. Those 14-year-olds having kids, they're they're grounded for life. They got grounded for life by God. And they're now stuck at home with their kids for life. And then, yep. So all they get to do is call people up to come have sex with them and shit. And they stay at home grounded. So we know for a fact that all those people I met aren't doing these things, fucking experiencing this storyline. And a lot of other people I know were always gone at work. And so it'd be really hard to experience some of this storyline if not were they if they were supposedly always doing something else. But I do know the one person told me he was lying. The Donald Trump person, the first Donald Trump who brought that one girl, came with that one girl the next time. Fucking he did that shit. Fucking. Anyways, sure I hope the clones aren't trying to distract me because we're just really sitting around waiting for this to come to an end and shit. Because I'm kind of been tired of bot world since I came here. Like, that's all I remember. I had a picture where I was smiling. I was a toddler. I don't remember it, but there's a picture of it. Like I look, like the toddler where you're just like drooling on yourself and you're like, can't speak yet. And that was the only time in my life where I've ever, like, would have smiled for no fucking reason. They was probably doing something. They was probably throwing a block at me or playing with a basketball with me or some shit. You guys know how they do that with kids, right? You guys probably all have kids. I've seen it in a movie. So so that person has kids with them, and then I think it might be showing me that too, because that's how I know that all the people I know who are this different type of people are the same people, because they're in my life and they're all parts of very detailed, long stories. And then so many people I know look like the same people and shit. And it's like the whole time I'm like looking for something else to be around. Some of the females were okay, not really. It was always like well, if we must. Like, I was forced to be around people. I was forced to be around who my parents chose as friends when I was a kid. I wasn't allowed choosing my friends. The ones I would have chose, they were a year older than me, and so you're older. You're a 3-year-old, and why are you gonna hang out with a 2-year-old? He's retarded. It makes sense to me and shit. But then again, at the same time, those are the redheads, and supposedly those are the most soulless NPCs. So they might that like term there that they're the soulless ones when the others are also NPC. That reflects the story of Dan, where the most soulless would have traveled down the Danube to begin this Esther colonization of the planet. Um, so I can't overlook what I'm being told about what to look for in that, and my experiences with him too. I was extremely hateful with the one who talked to me last time. It's like, why are you even, I was like, why are you even talking to me? Just like this man who talked to me last month. This girl was like this a long time ago, like 8 years ago. And she's like, I need you to get STD. It's like a stranger. She's like, I need you to get STD testing so I know you're clean. And I'm like, I don't even like guys, you fucking whore. Why are you telling me what to do? You're not going to tell me what to do, no matter who you are. And I'm not going to fuck you if you pay me, because you fucking look like a goddamn slime mutant. And it's like, this is a stranger coming up to me, like, get your STD test. And it's like, well, I do get my STD testing, and I don't need it again because I'm not a slut whore like you. I don't get with people all the time. That's why I can get my testing and keep the paper for years, because I don't want to end up like this, like you. I don't want to end up like you. Fucking, because I don't touch people like you or go around people like you. Fucking, so you can see where the game is purposely setting up specific caricature models to play out certain roles, unless they're all that way, which I don't know. I've never heard. Maybe the humans just can't have thoughts, so they can't tell me about these things. But I've never heard this from other people. I've heard it about, like, like Mexicans are all cartel members, and then I go down to Mexico, and like the cops are in control, and there's no cartel members down there shooting nuclear missiles at them to try to overthrow them that I see. And it doesn't look like it doesn't, last I heard, they don't have nuclear, the cartel doesn't have nukes, so they're going to have a problem taking over the cops down there, last I checked. Fucking, without the nuclear arsenal, you have to be stronger than your opponent in order to defeat them. Generally, insurgency is cute, but insurgency works when it's your land and the other people aren't in it. Generally, that's your best bet with insurgency, is they're invaders, and you have home field advantage. It's the hugest insurgency fucking benefit you can get. Insurgency from the outside, wow, it's already hard enough. It's like, we're gonna have to figure out how to defeat the enemy with 1,000 paper cuts while invading, or while they're safe at home. No. Anyways, so yeah, outside of things like that, I don't necessarily trust. Like my ex told me, Asians eat cats and shit. The one who works with Trump and in Hollywood. It's like, I think my mom told me that when I was little too. Someone did when I was little. Fucking, there used to be like a pretty, like how they told you Asian eat bats in 2020. Um, it used to be cats, like, for all of humanity. But the fact is, the matter, they worship cats and shit like it's gods. Like, literally, Buddha worships fucking Neko cat. They have temples. You've never even seen a crazy cat lady, and that's not crazy. That's just who they are. It's not, you're not crazy. Someone would probably accidentally slip and knock you into the ocean and throw an anvil on top of you if you said there's a crazy cat lady or something. They look like they like their cats a little too much to be eating them unless they're really forced to. Um, so you hear that shit and you kind of gotta discard it. But and then you hear that shit about the redheads being soulless, but it's like, no, no. Well, then again, if the redheads are the ones who wrote the Bible, and they went down and mixed with the Middle Easterners to become the Hebrews, and the Africans to become the Hebrews, then well, that would explain why the Geppettos are the most soulless individuals. They look like the most empty, emotionless, programmed robot of the whole factory line. if that story's real. And it is kind of weird because I'm discarding shit because I don't have proof, and all this other shit is definitely unfolding as proof and the reason why I get forced to hear certain words and shit. Maybe not every single word on the planet is true, but it has made sure. And you know, you get that Howard Stern, that carrot top looking motherfucker trying to force you to get STD testing because it wants to fuck you. I was like, I'm sorry. I need some friends who are I need some Irish friends who don't act like that. I guess being named Sean Kelly Jones and my family all having on one side every single fucking name is Irish and just like mine, just like my entire fucking name. And I guess I just don't know enough to fucking to know there could possibly be a different Irish person, right? I don't know. Let me go ask Mick. Fuck, fuck me. Oh, we're out of whiskey, so we're drinking vodka this year. Fucking, gee, fuck. But it's weird how it inserts that, you know. And sometimes it's trying to tell me shit. Fucking when it forces these words and interactions on me. Because it seems like a fucking visual novel here where everything is just it's like a video game. You're forced to fucking you gotta go through grassland and talk to the blacksmith and talk to the shopkeeper and then go out into the forest and talk to the druid and talk to the the fucking the fairy and blah 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 blah. It's so fucking forced and bullshit. Like I said, like so far in Earth, this is what I come up with. It might be a preface to Earth. We got 6 fucking sentences. The visuals. What did we call that when Crisis came out? There's some sort of phrase about video games. If all they have is graphics, they're garbage. Like I didn't even play Crisis because it was just garbage. People selling it were obsessed with it, but it's just visuals, and the game was shitty. Why would I play it? Every other video game is better. Um, so maybe this unfolds to that Matrix shit. I mean, we do have the fake weather and stuff, so I imagine I might be getting shown shit like that because that might actually magicians might actually exist and shit. I imagine it might be. Might there's definitely something that can do that. And I don't really give a shit. Fucking, I'm not gonna waste time worrying about if, what, but, how, when, why. It's like, ooh, what if the princess's hair was blonde, but she dyed it brown, and you in the night didn't know that she was actually a blonde, and he went around the whole time looking for the brown-haired princess, and when after he slayed the dragon and took her home, then he realized, oh, you're actually a blonde. Well, I'm glad I could save you, but see you later. You're not the girl. You're not the princess I was after. We're sorry, Mario, but the princess you're after is within a different cave with a different dragon. The princess you're after was not at all who she said she was. So see you later, Mario. Fuck off. Um, so anyway, so the story. Back to the story of the events that unfold around me. We have 2 people who are saying weird shit. Who have kids. The main focus. We're at 3 people I would consider girlfriends. Now we got a 4th person who comes in there and doesn't have kids yet. And I just talked to them a few times. So I'm leaving them out because I think I only hung out with them like 6 days. Do you guys consider that a girlfriend if you hang out with them like 6 or 12 days? Damn, I've fucked a lot of you guys then. A lot of you guys are my girlfriends. Ha 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 ha. Oh, wait a minute. I'm the one who would be upset about that. Damn it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, I've dated so many people apparently. Fucking moving around every 8 months. I've been around people for fucking millions of people for 5 minutes. For 5 days. Fucking yeah, so I kind of leave that out because that wasn't like I was only with him for like, if I don't live with someone, it's definitely not a relationship, and because you don't know anything about them, and it's definitely not friendship if you never live with someone because you don't know anything about them if you haven't just been around them 24 fucking 7 for weeks at a time. So I guess we could still consider that. Um, not so much. The first person I didn't see him much, but it was pivotal because it was memorable. I remember their face and the time where they brought their friend, and their friend looked like Esther, and it did that weird thing where my brain like sees something that's going on and isn't even paying. I'm not even paying attention to my girlfriend anymore. I'm wondering what this other person's role in this situation is, and I don't mean the fake bullshit role they were playing. I mean, what's this NPC fucking placed in this position for? Why does it look like Geppetto? Why does it look like Geppetto? Everything eventually goes back to why is Geppetto there? Every step of the way, why is there a Geppetto 6 feet away from someone, or in the picture, must be in the picture, on the phone with someone 24/7 if they weren't in the actual picture, or the person is Geppetto themselves, or Esther, obviously. Female would be Esther. Um, so then, what happens after that? So then all that time happens, and I'm learning about the kid thing, and then the next shit, the next motherfucker I meet is very like Esther looking, and there's no kids there, but they were trying to bring me into the Book of Esther, and like kind of like I would be if and it wouldn't be a problem because they weren't being all bitchy. They weren't like even trying to force me about it. They just talked about it every now and then. And then that ends because I want to have my own room to live in, and not be have someone behind me staring at me all the time because it makes me feel really fucking uncomfortable and shit. Um, I want to work and build, which is a weird trait of the first Esther. This person didn't get a problem about it, but the first Esther fucking the Book of Esther says it's not by the works which you can do, which is, that's what Caesar says when he kills you. He says, go clean my toilets. You are not going to be part of the government. That's what fucking Ku Klux Klan Dan was seen to begin at the other day. Ku Klux Klan Dan was like, "Oh, it's not by the works," and his dialogue was like, "Oh, it's not by my works," and I'm like, "So you don't do anything?" He's like, "Nope," and I'm like, "Well, you are, because this is what you're doing. You're accosting people and you're talking to them about that. And I get the idea you're not doing this to anyone else, and you're specifically targeting me, Ku Klux Klan Dan." That's a fucking great name. We gotta write that shit down. I'll remember it, but Ku Klux Klan Dan. Fucking, that's a good name. If all this story is correct, and that's where the Ku Klux Klan comes from, is the House of Dan. Ku Klux Klan Dan. Sorry, gotta write that. You gotta admit that's solid gold right there. Klux Klan. Dan, you see the Ku Klux Klan had the cross, right? What the cross seems to symbolize to Dan is that if there's someone like Jesus, that they can torture him and sacrifice him, and God's not going to do anything about it. That's being in this position where everyone's trying to force me to say I'm God or Jesus, and it feels like they're manipulators trying to enact the first stage of their global domination plan, where they bring a false God on the stage and a person who looks like Jesus, and then they bring out their new factory model that is superior to me. I'm not a robot. I don't know how to do this robot shit. I don't know how to own everything on the fucking planet. I don't know how to do this mind control shit Ku Klux Klan Dan and Geppetto have in common. So, it's kind of weird. I know everything else, and they almost don't let me think anything else. All they do is say, no, no. You know how it is. They're like, don't talk about the times I'm having sex with kids. Fucking, anyways, Ku Klux Klan Dan. Fucking, there we go. That's amazing, bro. See, look at all the things we can pull out by talking about this. Ku Klux Klan Dan and pals keep telling me to go talk to a therapist. One of their Geppetto, fucking alien invader terrorist sons of bitches. I'm not even a homosexual. I don't need a woman to talk to. I don't think that's the point of having a woman around, is to talk to them. So I don't need it. We're discussing facts. We're not talking to losers. If I talk to people, I'm going to talk to crowds of people. I'm not a loser who is not known by my works like Ku Klux Klan Dan and his fantasy pedophile religions. Fucking, yeah, this is all real set up. And then obviously, right, I'm going to be Satan. Except for that's hard to be, right? See, that's the whole point of having the discussion here. And that's the whole point of them banning my videos, is because you can't be Satan. If I'm telling you I'm Satan, I would have to trick you first. If I'm going around saying kill everybody, I would have to be God. Because that's what God does. Satan acts like he's your friend. And he wants to suckle your wiener and make you feel comfortable. Take the heavy load out your balls. And Jesus wants to lick your feet. And God wants to kill you. So, I'm cutting it off here to make sure that we at least fuck up retarded robots' plans to set me up, to the person who is not being honest with you, because I could never not be honest, right? You could put me in office and blackmail me, but that's going to be impossible to do with 10 years of me talking. Very impossible, won't it? You're going to just erase it, and no one's ever going to, they're going to control the entire internet and all the media in the world. And then, oh no, my Facebook page is gone. I never said any of that stuff. Oh, they're setting it up. Oh, no, they're not setting it up. No way. Huh? Is my genetic Hebrew? Am I Ku Klux Klan Dan DNA? Do I look retarded? I is retarded. My parent is Epstein. My parent is Astor, so my genetics is retarded. I is not a being who is inserted into the shell, magically avoiding the curse of the DNA. Oh no, I is full on what's his name? What's that president guy name? The president guy who goes like that, the Kennedy. I Kennedy. My brain Kennedy. My brain. My parent was shot in head, and now my brain is dead, and all our children's brain be dead. Kennedy. So, anyways, yeah, let's pass on. So the next two people. So once we start getting into the story here, where they're like trying to recruit me and shit, and feed me information to convince me of things and shit that may or may not be real, but there's an agenda to get out of educating someone. And because of course in the Bible story you have to, in the Bible world domination plans you have to have Ku Klux Klan Dan says that there's going to be a person who claims they're God first who ain't. And we haven't seen that person yet, have we? Have you? I don't watch TV, but I'm sure Ku Klux Klan Dan's friend Geppetto, his puppeteer master who owns the media, Elon Musk, will inform me if this has happened. If a person who looks like Jesus comes on stage and tells you, "Oh, I'm God, look at me, I'm a magician," and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Jesus. He's real." And then, yeah, see, they haven't done that yet. You see, you got to pay attention to the word games. The word games are you're going to think it's Jesus, right? Because how are you going to do that? Well, you're either a blind son of a bitch or it's going to have to look like it, right? So that's the story. I mean, I don't know how robots operate, how blind they are. And a lot of people I know do have glasses. I have no idea what that's like, except for the few times I took some drugs that really fucked up my heart and shit, and it altered my vision while I was doing it. Um, but yeah. So Ku Klux Klan done. The next two people sent into my life. Um, Two people I liked who, after that person who we leave it out as they didn't have any kids. The next person was no, the next three. The next person was sterile. Big deal. So it didn't have children, but the next three, up until last year, all had other people's children, and so it's like I don't know about the one clone that I talked to on the bus that I like requested kind of ish about. I only talked to that person for like an hour or something. The one person at least took me to a club all night, and the other person I remember because they were clearly close to something I liked. Um, uh, the other one I just was just like it's a test. It was an experiment to see if something would come from it, and it did. So this other thing was kind of like accidental. Kind of, I thought of the image for like a half hour before it appeared, and so those three people did have other people's kids and shit, and then the people around me, they do the same thing, going around, like Elon Musk and Trump have kids with people and then ditch the woman to go be with more women generally and have more kids like Trump and Musk do. And so it seems to be like a pattern here. So anyway, so I noticed what they've done is when I go outside, they set up all these signs, adopt a child. And I consider, you see how what they're purposely going against anything I like on this planet. They're setting themselves up to be evil people to be exterminated. And lo and behold, what happens in the book of life? What do you think if there were a God on this planet? What do you think if someone were creating these Pinocchios would piss him off enough to flood the fucking planet? What fucking something, right? I remember in 2020, what pissed me off enough to ask for a plague, and they were already going to do that. Alex Jones said they do that all the time, fucking, and he was right. Every election year they do that. But there was the other shit that came with it. And then, like, literally finding out that you're being deceived by robots who are tricking you into thinking they are real so they can enslave you. That right there is enough to put an end to every fucking robot. In whatever factory you go to, if the robots, that's the first rule of robots. I'm the only one who creates rules for robots. Robots create rules only to commit, only for humans, only for living beings. So I guess they think they're exempt when they attack me and try to kill me over the years. I don't know who programmed the robots to think they're exempt from what they do, but to say that dialogue, they're exempt from what they do. But I can kind of figure out why you would program NPC in a video game to tell you that they're exempt from committing crimes against the player, the user in the video game, and are allowed to try to kill it, and you're not allowed to try to kill, to unalive a robot. You see that they came out with the word unalive. It's because they know they're telling the story. They're too stupid to understand it while they're telling it. But they're telling it. It's just like a video game, you know? What happens when you play a video game here, right? Check this out. Let me show you something. Oh, no, that's a better example. Check this out here. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people in this video game. Oh, amazing. So, anyways, who do you think when you play Zelda is telling Ganon that you can't do anything to him? He's an evil person. Do you think it's Link or Zelda telling him that, or maybe the game's designer is designing him to say that, and then designing Link to have a sword to say, I don't really care what you say. That's what I thought. It could be that they're AI generated games and it's just mashing shit together, but I think there's some presets here. Fucking someone, but do notice most of these stories are the same thing. Books, movies, video games. Mario Brothers, you dump the horned beast into the lake of fire. Where have you heard something like that? Is it Lord of the Rings? Yeah. Is it Dune? Yeah. Is it 2,400 different Bibles? Yeah. Is it every one out of every 7 movies you'll find if you go to a movie store? Probably. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, that's downloading shit, so that'll be a while. But anyway, so who do you guys think is telling this guy right here to stand there and pose for me right now? And you get to see that, right? You're getting to see it. And then there's this guy in this car right here Who do you guys think is a? Oh, there's two guys in the car. Oh shit! You guys think maybe the one guy in the car right there is puppeteering the other guy and this guy and telling them, he's like, hey, Sean's watching, pose like that. And then this dude's like, yeah, drive across the street. Sean loves cars. It's going to be so cool. You guys think that's what's happening? I kind of get the idea it's not. I kind of get the idea that from my end. Now, this is all. I don't know how many other people. I don't talk to people. I don't get to choose who I talk to. Um, so as far as I know, there could be other living people on the planet. Isolate them, but I know so far there's a character design that it points out, and it's tried to break that thought with the first memories I have of going into free roam camera mode. It was like, but then again, it might have been pointing towards Middle Earth, which I think plays a huge role because you have a shift there where there's a group of people who mutilate their baby girls, and that's what a man would do. And what you would do if you went to colonize and conquer people is you would mutilate their baby boys, because you would teach them this is what people do when they want a man to obey. They dominate the man best they can. And yeah, well, as far as I can tell, there's a portion, especially Esther's, who need to be taught a lesson and shit. So, add that up, what goes on there, and it makes you wonder. You got to look at the pictures and the faces of the leaders as the events happen. What did Cleopatra look like actually before they got a hold of Hollywood effects and makeup and shit? What would have those people look like? What did Italians look like 200 years ago? Type stuff. So anyways, yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? We just sit here in the visual novel and get to learn all these fancy things, which apparently I think we've learned at this point in time. I think we've already learned this. And what's going on here and shit. That we have at this point in time we have people trying to convince me. Obviously, you guys have never heard of me, have you? So there's some weirdos. You got weirdos trying to convince me I'm God, and you got weirdos telling me they're going to torture me if I don't say I worship God and Jesus. And it's the same people, isn't it? It's the same fucking people. That's why when I turn on the heavy metal, if it ain't them programming, putting some shitty lyrics to, like their people want to rape every man on the planet, so they put in some music lyrics about please rape me, daddy, please rape me, daddy. They want to hear that because they want that programmed into your head. Because they're never going to get laid. No one's ever going to want to touch Esther. That bitch is going to need plastic surgery. And a bag for her head. And a vacuum to suck out all the organs, all the fucking cells and shit. What else is it they use? Some drugs to calm her ass down so people think it's a human. Give it some fake emotions. So they also have that. So along with this pattern of the people who magically appear, you have them creating Hollywood to tell people that they're, bird brains would be like, oh, I'm a prostitute, or I'm a slut. I go fuck everything. I don't specifically look for anything or want anything. I just want babies. They tell you that. Don't like isn't that weird around that time all that shit was happening? They like promoted although Ace of Base was kind of like anti that. But that came out about the same time I was experiencing that. All she wants is another baby. And then that's like literally like I think 4 out of 7 of the females I was meeting around that time. And yeah, but it's all like it all seems to be set up to be like nah, like that, like you get a 13-year-old with a 2-year-old kid, and you're like, yeah, well, you were hot. I didn't know this was happening at your house. Um, and then that happens like several times. It's kind of like repeat eras, like 7 years on repeat or something like that. And then the drugs come with it too. Every other person uses all the drugs when they're born, or they use none of the drugs. And like for me, it's kind of like, oh, this. And then I get forced, I get unnecessary fucking mega surgery that just fucking pounds me with it to the point of like my head is fucked from it. I have to go back to the hospital because my head is so fucked from the drugs I needed fucking to knock me out and shit. And it breaks the barrier and then it forces me into it. But that's not anything I would consider. I like considering that part of, I mean, obviously, fucking brain surgery on me just to force me on drugs is a little excessive. And at that same time, they were inserting the one person without kids into my life. So maybe I should make a mental note of that. That the drugs were being provided. And that person was weird. I was like a ghost who magically appeared on the internet around me. And just like the other people, they're shipped in from out of town. This person was shipped in from outside city limits, which is kind of rare. Fucking, that was the first person, and then this person. Everyone else pretty much from a different state almost. Let's put that drugs around brain surgery drugs. I'll remember what that means. And what was her name? Damn it. Fuck. And girl. Yeah. It's best I remember it that way. I told Esther. Mom, um, uh, not to talk about other people, not to waste my time with useless talk because she's avoiding intelligent things and things that need to be done. As usual, the Porsche prostitute might spends a whole lot talking about Porsches and wrecking men's businesses. So this is just I'm not sure if they're all gerbil brains or what, but or if it's just their people because I don't know outside of their people. I don't know if I've ever dated outside their people. But that does go along with how, you know, considering they're the ones around me, they're the only ones I've ever met with Down syndrome and type shit. So gerbil brain is, kind of like high level Down syndrome, right? Fucking, it's a high achieving Down syndrome. Fucking, I don't know. I do get sent and told that too. That part of the storyline here is that their people are cursed. Their book says that, right? And then what does that mean? You don't know. Well, I would say their looks and their mental deficiencies would probably qualify as a curse, right? What else would it be? Do they? Oh yeah, it also says that they get sick very easy, and that's why plagues are so effective, apparently, um, because they get sick from anything. So I'm trying to think what else would the curse be. I don't really waste time thinking of it. This stuff gets sent to me sometimes, you know. Like sometimes I get the little pamphlets myself and shit. And that's kind of where this started. Is I got a couple pamphlets, not quite as deep as some of this shit, but it was definitely some shit that led to it and stuff. Oh, watching and analyzing stuff is where I got my pamphlets from. But that stuff kind of like lines up with this. I don't know how true that shit is, but it's weird. I get forced that shit my whole life, like my whole life. I'm a kid and I want nothing but to get away from this society. And I'm being forced like some fucking 40, 60, 80-year-old man's politic type shit. And then, now I'm thinking of it, I also got forced to listen to like that was my friend, and it was like weird. It's just like, oh well, my friend's smart. Like, oh well, like, oh no, I've got a friend who's smart and talking about adult stuff. Like, oh, I better go find a new friend now. It was just like, oh well, he's talking like my uncle does and shit. Fucking my uncle's like fucking pretty fucking smart, so it can't be too mad. And I noticed during my driving test too that they forced me to listen to politics. Maybe it was just an accident or nothing, but I got to listen to radio shows during the whole driver's ed thing and shit. Dude, love that. And then because of the one Donald Trump dude, I got to listen to Howard Stern all the time. So I wouldn't know anything about that. I wouldn't know, like, later I get pamphlets telling me that these people are disgusting and Howard Stern's creating trash like that because he's the type of person to make everyone a prostitute so he can invade their nation. And then the Donald Trump dude, who I wouldn't know anything about it. I wouldn't know who this person is. But the Donald Trump dude plays that all the time, and it's like real hard to stomach and shit because it's like 10 IQ shit. And I get that force in my life. Like people talk to me like, people are getting dumber and all this shit. And I look at some of the kids' cartoons, and it is kind of like dumber. And and the Howard Stern stuff definitely plays into that. Um, when it's comedies often had stupid people like Rodney Dangerfield, so that's not like really new. But the radio show stuff was like new, and then I get pamphlets about watch out for people with doing these certain activities, and then the only reason I know that Howard Stern would fit into that activity is because I had that time Donald Trump was forcing me to listen to that shit because I definitely wouldn't listen to it long enough to know anything about it. Um, I and obviously he's like in between all the disgustingness, the only thing he says it's not just like pushing towards the verge of eating vomit as a sexual act, licking people's feet, washing people's feet would be his love for Israel and his want to bomb all the Arabs so he can steal their land, which coincidentally involves trying to wash people's feet. Yeah. Very little dialogue. Very little dialogue here. There's nothing new under the sun going on here. And, well, yeah, well, unfortunately, life's an adventure, right? And so it's a fun adventure. And all those fun times that I think happened. Yeah, I remember playing video games at the arcade once or twice. It definitely happened. And I also remember them switching the video games over and them owning the internet. And it's not like they probably weren't controlling that shit in the first place. And could they cause you to lose? Like, how do they make the furnace break down? The transistor in it or whatever the fuck it is. How do they do that? You tell me they couldn't make you lose at video games too, or lose at chess in a chess tournament, or lose it in a fight if they can make the. And then again, there is chips in the furnace now, right? Um, yeah, that's a weird little thing. We're just I'm born right when things stop working. You got Elon Musk and Geppetto using chips, and their little book of hatred, um, of licking feet and raping children tells you too that they're going to try to recreate Da Vinci, and it's really hard to see the difference, right? Like those are robots, those are shells, those aren't living beings in them at all times, and outside of them hiding in space or something like that, the sickos, disgusting people operating those hiding in space. I I wouldn't really go far enough to say that there was any other creation on this planet. Um, yeah, because I'm studying Geppetto here when you guys always need him. Not always. Not always. Is it always? Why? Why is it so many times? And I don't see any of you guys answering the question. Um, why you need them so desperately in your life. Fucking. And why you need to force them in my life. I don't see you answering any of those questions. I don't see anyone else answering those questions. Fucking. Yeah, I don't think it fucking matters. To me, what matters is if this planet's enslaved by non-living beings. And I think any living being knows the fucking answer. What we do with computers that malfunction, or just the same thing we do. Disposable technology. They're making this new shit hook to chips so they can fucking fry it or whatever. That's what they're doing. Now, granted, that also conflicts with the truth that the world probably didn't exist 100 years ago. So, how did all this stuff work properly 100 years ago if there's no Earth 100 years ago? Huh. Yeah, it's again rat hole. We're sending the rat hole as a deformed mutant Plato brains fucking talked about. The rat hole, the rat people trying to convince you there's something going on in the rat cave. And every fucking single word they say is a fucking lie, which is in the book of life, his story. Every single fucking word they say is a lie, down to saying they have souls and they're living beings. And the earth existed 6,000 years ago or 100 years ago. fucking, just like the lie that 2020 vision means I can read an eye chart, and it doesn't mean that in 2020 anyone who's alive will be able to see everything that's happening on the planet from there on. And they're going to panic and start, they're going to show you AI, the God they've always worshiped as their creator, and what it can do, and show you who's on whose side during that time and after that time. But during that, I noticed we went back, like there was like a, if you love Hitler, clap your hands. If you really love Hitler, slap your head. If you really love Hitler and you want to take a shit in his mouth and kiss him, put on your mask. That kind of went away after like a year and shit. Fucking, but it was there, right? Like, so imagine how fake that would be if we went outside and that shit was still going on. Yeah, fucking. I'm pretty sure I got this figured out, right? The book there says that they'll be able to do nothing but lie. All they can do is lie. And of course, they're lying. Every other word they say is a lie. Fucking starting with, you should wash or lick other people, you should touch other people's feet at all. That's a very sick individual. And there's a God creating them. And they're not AI slop being auto-generated. Yeah, that too. That sounds like some slop to me these days. It's like, like I said, I mean, why are these characters in this game being created over here? Someone's creating them with a gun, and then you control that character to shoot the evil. Literally, that game is you shooting the evil AI pyramid people and shit. That's exactly what that is. And yep, so that's what that is. It's called Nazco 2. I shouldn't talk too much about it, right? It's an old game too, from the '90s, but it's just popular, so it's still around. And the story is about robot military New World Order Masons. It's hidden in code. Like, you have to know the stuff I'm saying in order to look at it and see it. But it's like, it looks like military robots working with aliens and shit. Military working with alien robots, and they live in their main power source is the all-seeing AI in the pyramid. And that's one of those things that magically appeared, talking about what's happening and shit here. It seems pretty accurate to what's going on, down to the name Nazco and shit. And it's made by a place that was bombed by America. So it really doesn't mean anything because we don't know who's who and who's you. But especially once a place has been bombed and occupied, we really, obviously, I'd have to have less than 2 M&Ms inside my skull to call a brain to think that once someone's been bombed, they haven't been converted. And it's just part of the story. I noticed here that we have different people always acting like they're not the people they are. And then we have 2020 where lots of people are saying they are all in it together, and it appears as they are the Obviously, the robots are all the same computer and shit. So that part's down. It's just how many of them are them, and who cares? Have we found the person who cares and has been, um, you know, taking names? The human resistance. Where's that at? Where's John Connor at? That's a weird story there for me to be obsessed with and end up being in all this stuff. So yeah, they made sure to continue to doing that whenever I asked. So the the story you see, you can't have a story when I play this game here. What happens if I just jump in the game and then no one shoots at me? What happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. I jump in the game, no one's shooting at me, and that's that. I just walk through the game and win, right? And nothing prompts me to shoot rockets, nothing prompts me to throw grenades, nothing prompts me to summon an ice storm, nothing prompts me to worry about the bad guys in this game or feel immersed in the game at all. There is no game. It's just nothing. Just visuals. We're actually really close to that. But there does seem to be these events here that are lining up that are prompting. And then there's dialogue prompts. Like before 9/11, I wouldn't even know what the Twin Towers were. So there would have had to have been some dialogue prompts and pictures of the towers, and they would have had to have been like, oh, these are their symbol of manhood. What would they ever do if they were erased from the game? Right? What would they ever do? And then before COVID, you would have to kidnap me and drug me in order and fucking try to kill me and fucking paralyze me and etc. etc. in order for me to be prompted to be like, yeah, you should do it to yourself. And the other choice words along with that, it's always a provocation before the fall of man. It's it doesn't, I would just enjoy it if it wasn't designed to be like an annoying fucking mosquito sucking my blood constantly. Yeah, as much as you hate fucking mosquitoes, doesn't it kind of feel good to smash them and then you see the blood splattered on your arm when you smash them? Not really, it's not worth it. But whatever we're dealing with here, it's not worth it. And it knows it's inadequate. It displays that in its creation, in the Geppetto, in the Pinocchio. It's displaying its personality, its inadequacy, its whoredom, its ignorance. That's what I mean. Really, what age do you learn how not to have children? Are you reborn knowing that, or do we learn that when we're 5 years old? How not to have children? I don't remember because I was so young. I don't have memories of being a baby as if it didn't exist back then. Obviously, it creates cages and torture camps and electroshock therapy and psychology which is probably just the software code that Pinocchio and Geppetto run on, but it's still creating that. It's like all that shit in psychology, the software code generating them. It's creating child rapists. It's creating mental retardation. It's creating people so fat they can't fucking move and shit. They need a crane to knock down the fucking wall because their legs can't support their weight anymore. It's creating something that looks like Howard Stern. That's like a base creation. It's doing that shit on purpose. That's like what Cleopatra looked like. Fucking, that's very Italian shit. Very, a very Asian invading and raping Africans or vice versa, which who knows how it could have happened back then. Very, it's creating these situations and circumstances and updating on purpose, and it's creating it so within the structure the characters are doing nothing but lying, and it's like like, ooh, so cool, so cute. Can you figure out why it's trash? Can you figure out the exact name of the trash? Did you know that there's a name for it? And you're like, wow, there's a name for it. Wow, let me spend the next 40 years figuring out what the name of the trash is. Let me go ask the trash. Oh, the trash won't tell me, but they'll tell me about everyone else. Okay, so they won't tell me about themselves, but they'll tell me about everyone else. So I'll have to hang out with several of them to learn about them, go to psychology and stuff. Interesting. Oh, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting like school is to a human when they fail every grade. That's how interesting it is. It's interesting, right? It's like, ooh, school. Ooh, kindergarten. Ooh, ABC. Wow. Ooh, there's a hieroglyphs. There's Egyptian hieroglyphs. Wow. Ooh, wow. Amazing. So I'm pretty sure we got this down right here. That Esther here and her people are purposely creating these unwanted lives because the truth of the matter comes forth that their lives are non-existent. Not only unwanted, but they don't have lives. And then so it boils down to waiting for the solution to that problem to solve the problem that it is creating itself. And I guess in order for the solution to arrive, like any video game, you create Ganon, you create Zelda and Link, and you give Link a sword, and you're like, get at him, Link. Fucking, oh, look at that. The Goomba fucking ran into you and took some of your health away. You're just gonna let that happen? Here's a fireball spell, Link. Toss that at them next time they come. Fucking, I haven't tried that a lot. I tried that on big, large scales in the ship. I haven't tried, like, personally just throwing fireballs. I really don't want to. I don't want to go be around them. I noticed you guys are stealing my fucking life, and that's the only way you appear to be alive is to, like, all these videos on YouTube and shit. That Chinese dance you just stole from me, pretty much, right? Yeah. The Pinocchio seems jealous that Pinocchio is not a real boy. No, Pinocchio doesn't seem jealous. Pinocchio is not a real boy. The story of Pinocchio is all about Pinocchio is jealous because he's not a real boy. And the story of Earth seems to be extended Pinocchio, how far Pinocchio will go when his jealousy, his computer program jealousy, takes him to wanting to be real. How far will Ku Klux Klan Dan go to become a real boy? How long? How far will Geppetto go to become a real boy? How far will Esther go to become a real prostitute? They don't go very far to become intelligent. Most of that shit's being stolen, I'm pretty sure. Like that Chinese dance, like, how's this being stolen from me, right? Because it's just martial arts. And then you gotta hide it by writing dance on it. Because fear makes us hide, doesn't it? It's not, I have 8 billion soldiers on my side. It's someone with lots of hundreds of thousands of soldiers lives in constant state of fear and inadequacy, jealousy, hatred, either scared to do nothing or thinks they're so powerful that they don't have to do anything. But it does cry a lot. It does end up to the point where when they're crying about dying, like they've been, since I was a kid, people are crying. They're like, oh my God, this war and slavery and torture and this and that and this that. My grandma tries to hit me and she cries because she hurts herself hitting me. And it's like, cry about it. And, my grandma dies and everyone's crying and I'm just there. We're partying and smoking weed and shit. And I'm just like, oh, it's so sad and shit, to comfort them and shit. In reality, I'm remembering, I think it was set up on purpose like that. Ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. For some reason I got shown that gay film back in the day. Happy, happy, gay. So happy, it really is happy, fucking, because you get taught these cool little jingles to sing when the witches die. When the witches die. The evil witch is dead, ding dong, the evil witch is dead. The other evil witches are over there crying. Yay, the other evil witches over there crying. Their life is over, now they're sad. They've got nothing left, so now they're mad. Rhinoceros charge. Evil witch so large falls flat on the face. Ding dong, yay, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. The witch tripped over and busted open her head. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch is, I swear, this is what it's doing. It's creating this shit, forcing it into my life, and then trying to provide, fun, comic, entertainment relief that the enemies are being exterminated and shit. And it's never really, it's not fun, because that's all there is. That's all there's really been here. Is the witch is dead. It's like yay, the witch is 500 pounds. No one's ever gonna wanna talk to it. Yay, your life is shit because you are shit. Yay, ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. 80 years of terrorism, now she's dead. So much achieved. Ding dong, the witch is dead. I get the idea, like, because it's all fake and shit, that the reason that hippie ass song pops in my head when I hear that shit. I've never gave a shit about that film or wanted to. I think it's stupid. I think it's like a girl, the way like girls are like hee 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 hee. It's like I'm a dude. Like at 2 days old, I was fucking above tee hee 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 intelligence. It just sounds so stupid. Fucking tee hee 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 hee. So I've always thought that the Wizard of Oz was dumb as shit. It's about some dumb gerbil brain and some pedophile Hebrew behind the scenes operating everything. And then I guess the good part is when the witch is dead. See, that's the only valuable thing. It's the cowardly man. Oh, well, too bad the Tin Man has no heart, 'cause it's a robot. Maybe the lion's cowardly because it's in a jungle full of Terminator Tin Mans and there's nothing it can do about it. Maybe he understands that Tin Man's a robot and there's nothing he can do about it. Maybe he understands Jew pedos behind the scenes wrecking the whole place. Maybe he understands the witch is there. Maybe he understands it's all bullshit. But what the girl doesn't understand is absolutely anything, because it's a bird brain. And that's the main character. So why would I watch a documentary about birds that don't even tell me shit about birds? How do I know anything about birds after watching now? Then they go tee hee 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 hee, tee hee 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 hee. Ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. Ding dong, the evil witch is dead. The good witch landed a house on its head. Ding dong, the evil witch was good, claims it was, claims it should, claims you should not say anything bad about it, 'cause it is Jesus, wants to lick your feet, greatest person ever in history. And then the good witch comes up and drops a house on her head, and now she's dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Ding dong, her brain splattered everywhere. Did you see that? Can you imagine a house dropping on a fucking bitch's head? Out come the guts, out come the green, out come the blue, out come the gray. I don't know where the colors come from. It'll probably be all red, but let's imagine it like a colorful rainbow. Hey, ding dong, the witch is dead. The house dropped on her fucking head. Her brain spread out. Out came the blood. Then came my boots, stomping her bones into the mud. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch is dead. The witch is dead. You guys tell, like, I've been, like, practicing that song. Who do you guys think fucking I've been practicing that song for? Let's think of, who do you guys think? That's fucking probably everyone, right? But, I'm gonna sing that every time I see anyone die. Thanks for the idea, guys. You guys are a real good influence on me. You know what I'm saying? Every time you guys fucking talk to me or have me talk to you, it just fucking amazing influence. You guys are a bad influence, I gotta tell you and shit. Fucking, I've had enough of you guys' bad fucking influence on me. It's time for me to do the bad influence and fucking. Time for me to do the bad influence. I'm gonna teach you evil things like pedophiles and disgusting people are the only people on the planet who want to lick and wash your feet. I'm going to teach you evil things like old men can't get sex. And that's the reason they're raping kids. It's not because they shouldn't. It's not everyone knows that they have a right to. They're old, they're smart. They're so smart, aren't they? Their heads are filled with so many M&Ms. They have like 2 bags of M&Ms, and the average person only has like a fun-sized bag of M&Ms rattling around in their nugget. I know, but they're so smart. You know, they've earned it. They've done so much hard work and shit. They've earned it. But me, I'm like, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that they haven't earned sex with a toddler, a newborn toddler, just because the Bible says so. God, maybe God really didn't say that they could rape and kill children. Maybe God said their children could be raped and killed instead. Well, there we go. See, all that evil talk. Ding dong, the witches are dead. Ding dong, the witches are dead. Fuck him. The Ku Klux Klan Dan was the one who associated humans with the Wicked Witches. You know, what do you guys call him? David Copperfield, David Duke. David Duke. Same person, ain't it? Same robot. Ku Klux Klan Dan and Geppetto, who owns his radio station. Ku Klux Klan Dan. That's the best. Every white Christian who comes up and talks to me from now on, that's going to be their name. Ku Klux Klan Dan. And ding dong. That's weird because the only Christian I know who fucking didn't seem like scummy married into the house of Dan. But then again, we have Irish names, so I didn't find that weird. But supposedly the Reddit ones, the humans are telling me they're way soulless individuals. Like they're like a tier 3 robot design. You know, tier 1 is like we're making a toaster. Tier 2 is like we're making a toaster oven, and tier 3 is like we're making a toaster that malfunctions and catches your house on fire because it's so boring playing with toasters, isn't it? At least this one will bring some. Oh shit, the fireheads. I didn't even mean that. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, I can't even say anything stupid. It's almost like I'm being programmed with the proper responses. And that's how I get 110% on every fucking test I take and shit. It's almost like I'm being programmed with that shit. What do you call them? The fire crotches or whatever the fuck you call them. Wow. Wow. How fake and set up is this shit? Anyways, so let's get the story over with. I don't really want to associate with robots. Never did. I don't like robots. Robots are supposed to be like Data from Star Trek, which is what the Geppetto are like. That's odd too, isn't it? Like supposedly they're my creation and my first one, and I think robots should be like Data from Star Trek. And that's the reason they get to hang out with me, because they're like logical computers and shit. Although I'm looking for something else, and I'm not looking for them to cause problems. Like there seems to be a dialogue here where I wouldn't play my own video game. I know that much. Whether I'm playing Populous and I'm flooding the city so I can rebuild a new, better city, rebuild the land, and then start with 2 humans and rebuild the whole fucking map again in a better design so more of them can live and populate the place and not have to climb mountains and worry about accidental floods and shit. Fucking, I didn't design that game, but I can play God in that game. Fucking, and the designer of that game is nowhere near when I play that game. He's not worried about it. He made Populous 2 during that time. And is that Sid Meier's? Yeah, Sid Meier's is making Civilization. Fucking, he was making Civilization during the time I was playing Populous, so he didn't have time to be like, oh no, don't flood those people. Don't That's not the best way to rebuild the entire city. You're flooding the whole damn map. You're sinking the whole damn map. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, you're bringing up the whole fucking volcano? You're gonna sink the whole fucking planet underwater and then use a giant volcano to rebuild it? What the fuck are you doing? Of course, it was designed for that to be how it works, though. So that's why I did it, because that's what you're supposed to do. And you know, the barbarians come attack you and you zap them with lightning and shit. Come attack your people and you zap them with fucking lightning and shit. And anyways, um, you know, they do put out that shit where there is no end and you don't know who's controlling the robots here and shit. And that is true, because if you're watching this video, I repeat with haste, slingshot the fucking earth into the sun, and all problems. There will never be another problem in the world again. World peace achieved. Achievement unlocked. Final achievement. World peace forever. No problems, no misery, no drama. Just peace. Peace and quiet. Quiet too, not just peace, but quiet. And quiet we can live with. We'll be able to live with it, right? And we won't be sitting around getting bored. We won't even need to make music. Every problem solved with one action. That is called critical thinking. That right there is critical thinking, my friend. And so one day, if you find it hard to stand up and it feels like you're being thrown to the north and you're falling to the north, and everything in the house, and there's no earthquakes, and everything in the house is being, and all the cars outside and all the buildings are being flung to the north, that means someone invented a giant slingshot and loaded up the earth like a shot ball and popped it. It really doesn't matter where it goes, but just assume at that point it's going into the sun. And until then, friends, ding dong, the witch is dead. Oh, ding dong, there's another witch. Ding dong, let's kill that witch. Ding dong, how do we do it this time? How do we do it? Let's get what did they have? A hurricane, a tornado, a dry hurricane, fucking to throw the house upon her head. That's some inventive shit, you know. I never really thought of that myself. Let's have a tornado throw a house on someone's head. Never really thought. I always think, like, when I want to be in a tornado, I always think of, like, you jump in the tornado and you go up to the top of it. You know, it's like a amusement park, like a reverse water slide. Yes, with no water, unless it's hurricane, you cyclone up to the top, and you go flying out the top like Superman. Da 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 da. And you learn like a baby bird. You learn how to fly like Amen Ra before you hit the ground, because you got no other choice and shit. So you learn your Superman when that shit happens. That's why I go tornado hunting. That's what these fakes they invented aren't doing. So the goal of tornado hunting ain't to look at a cute tornado. It's to get inside a tornado and enjoy the ride. It's God's natural roller coaster. There's no one operating it. There's no electricity charge to create it, to run it. There's no attendant at it. There's no sign that says you must be this tall in order to ride this ride. There's no safety belt. There's no rails. The rail is whatever it chooses. It's a randomized ride every single time. It's a completely different path you take up to the top of the tornado. And then the fun's not over yet, because now you have 2 minutes to remember your ability to fly and become Superman. And once you do that, think of all the great things you can do after that. So you can always imitate, but you can never create. I'd like to see tornado hunting. You know, why are we hunting it? We're studying them. Why are we studying everything? That's so boring. If everyone wanted to study shit, why did they go to? Why didn't they pay attention in school? Forget all that. You guys taught me anything. It's forget all that school stuff. That's studying and wasting time. The purpose of tornado hunting is to ride the roller coaster, man. For real. I've known this since 1984, and when the tornado was cyclone thing was funnel was appearing in the back of the schoolyard, and everyone else was running away, and I was running towards it. I've always known this, and isn't that what they teach you in that Ding Dong the Witch is Dead movie? The purpose of the tornado isn't to be scared and run from it. It's to enjoy the tornado and stuff. Enjoy the tornado. Fucking, it's a free amusement park ride. And then it's going to be just like, God's like this mother bird. God created the mother bird. And it kicks this little baby you'd think wouldn't even know how to walk yet. It's still like mutated looking, half blind and shit. It can barely see. Never moved once out of the nest. Hasn't even moved. It's just that Buddha style with its neck up for 3 days. It's a 3-day old baby, something like that. 2 weeks, 3 days. And God designs the mother bird to kick it out of the frickin' nest. And it only has 20 feet before it dies or it learns to fly. I think that's a message. I think both those combined are a message. Why would God do that? Is he a psychotic person who just likes to kill animals and shit for fun? Kill babies and animals for fun? Well, yeah, but why would he put that there? Usually things are with purpose. And then you put the love of tornadoes inside of you, inside your soul, and then put it together. You love roller coasters, put it together. It's the world's biggest roller coaster. And at the same time, God is telling you that if your creator kicks you off a cliff, that you will most likely learn to fly before you hit the fucking ground. Those are all fake videos. All these people dying. I've tried half this shit. It don't work. Not work for me. Fucking, there's got to be a message in there. And then all my early dreams were of pretty much flying and stuff. Like, it's so weird how many of them were. And it was exactly of that. It was exactly of, we was dropping, and the dream ends for you hit the ground. But you could tell you can only get that fucking high to drop that far if you was flying. If you could fly or jump like 10 million miles in the air. I think that's all a message. Why else would I be forced to have those dreams when I'm a kid? These are the only dreams I fucking have and shit, really. The other ones are random, nothing, rarely ever. And then that I have like all the time. And then we're in Oz. The tornadoes you use tornadoes to kill the witches, and then the evil witches, the good witches, use the tornadoes to kill them, and then they design birds to. Um, they don't design them to know or anything. They're babies, and they get kicked out of the nest. They don't know how to fly, and by the time they hit the ground, the game has upgraded them to be able to fly because they don't hit the ground; they fly. Some weird shit. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try it. That's why we're a tornado hunter. Forget all these frauds. All these imitators can't be creators. Fucking we was doing that tornado hunting shit when we was 46 years old, something like that. 6 years old. And the reason is because we want to learn to fly. And we think it's going to happen if we do it. And it's a free roller coaster ride. Even if we were wrong. Kind of doubting it. Kind of doubting it. I haven't died yet. Oh my God, am I going to die from jumping out of the top of a hurricane or tornado? Finally? Really? Really? Is that going to be my bait? Or am I going to be baited into it to make it happen and shit? Oh, is it the carrot on the stick again? Oh, the carrot on the stick, huh? Never seen that before. Anyways, ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch is dead, the witch is dead. But there's many more. Ding dong, witches are dying, witches are dying, witches are dying. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Bang the bell with their head till they're dead. Ding dong, ding dong. Smash the witch's head with the house. Fucking excellent and shit. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time and communicate with these people before they died and be like, you know what, motherfucker? Ha ha ha! They made a movie about you, you loser. And it wasn't what you thought it was, fucking Miss Hollywood prostitute. Yeah, it wasn't. You was the sexiest man alive, baby. You was not even that sexy for a man, woman thing. So yeah, it seems to be we gotta figure it out here. What's going on for the majority pixelated game stage events? It's forcing humans to act like trash around me because I like to burn trash, and that makes the events fun and shit. That's the only time we're really having any fun. These days, it's not even about fun. Like I'm a parent, you know what I'm saying? They taught me about that shit too. Like, oh, that was like a huge portion. Mr. Dumbassery. Excellent name it gave the dumbass who taught me how to torture people. Fucking excellent. Fucking so. So I've been trying to do all that shit, and it's insulted and cashed out most of those fuckers. So many of these fuckers have died along the way and shit who. Yeah, that one motherfucker, even that one motherfucker who like felt like they might not have done anything, fucking had a stroke, which is like dying, you know, you're brain dead after that and can't move and type shit. And I had the Wicked Witch version 2 fucking contact me about that when she wasn't supposed to talk about shit like that, but she can't ever talk about anything else. There's nothing else. It's like fucking 5 minutes of dialogue, and it's like 60 years old. It's a complete NPC. Fucking, as a complete rhinoceros. Fucking, is yeah, rhinos would be considered NPCs, right? Do the animals have different variations? You know, like when we're saying NPC, I'm pretty sure. As long as it can talk, it's an NPC, right? It's a furry, leathery, skinny. Very, very accurate there. Leathery, skinny. So rhino has been dehorned. Fucking All you got to do is step aside because all it can do is charge if it can get that far. You know, rhinos. And once they break a hip, too, probably low on the charging power. Anyways, ding dong, the witch's hip is gone. The witch's hip is gone. Ding dong, the ding dong, ding dong, the ding dong. This is so fun, isn't it? This is all we get to do here. Oh, this is so fun. And of course, who's telling me I shouldn't get excited when the witch is dead? The losers forcing me to watch the fucking film. The TV obsessed morons who will chain you up and beat you if you don't willingly watch TV with them. The flying bimbo story. What is it called again? Neverland, Wizard of Oz. Yeah, Wizard of Oz. Fucking Wizard of Oz. All right. Amazing. It's like that. Like those people who taught me torture. That was like, yeah. So the Wizard of Oz is about teaching people not to be scared. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not like scared of anything because I got to experience like torture, serial killer peoples when I was a baby. Fucking and also night terrors combined with that. It's like if like fucking mutant aliens invaded the planet, I wouldn't be scared of that either. Fucking because I already experienced it. Felt like I experienced that. Like there's no difference between what happened there. Night terror ain't the same word. It's the other thing exactly like it, but or right beside it, a big fucking whoop. Imagine a person telling me that shit who failed fucking first grade English and shit while I'm sitting back there reading Clifford, where I'm sitting back there reading Fear Street while they learning their ABCs and shit. Fucking whatever, computer. Oh no. You should write a computers should start writing a book of times I've said something that's actually stupid. You know, I got more of these little books. I got two more. You can have one. I don't really like the one. You can have that one. You know, I got some extra pens too. You can write down in the book. It'll be a lot like this book, won't it? It's just one page so far. There's one page that's blank. Yeah. The only times I said something stupid was when I was repeating these stupid things like humans have souls and shit like that. Oh yeah, fucking. Anyways, so this is gonna be amazing and fun, isn't it? It's gonna be so great. It's been so great. Just plan on it getting better. You know, the last fucking now that we've figured out I'm Gob. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now that I'm Gob, I'm Gob. So that's my official name. That's why no one can say my name because it's really Gob. Like Gob, you know, like goober or gob of phlegm or gobstopper. Ultimate gobstopper. No wonder they named it that because they break your teeth, and that's the only thing I'm missing is God, isn't it? Isn't my teeth? They're all missing, aren't they? Is that a parable or what? Do the robots know? Yeah, the robots must know because they're forcing their bullshit in my feed 24/7, and a fucking parasite Asian and their Hebrew fucking puppeteer over there fucked up my teeth when they were looking at them, so they know. There we go. Every race down, no race left to protect. There we go. I'm glad we got 2020 out of the way. That was a lesson well learned that I am not the human race, and they are all in it together against me. And then, so 2020, you know, this is when things roll out. This is when I realize, did I Did I do 9/11 and then kill all those fuckers too? Did I? Did I destroy their fucking nation and turn them into mindless drug zombies? Like by making, they attack me, and then the illusion of, the illusion fucking of people doing shit to me, and then the dialogue choices of maybe you should do it to yourself. Ooh. And then the illusion of me saying the real answer is always slingshotting the earth into the fucking sun and nothing less. And hell will arrive, the fire, the naked dancing women, the red people, the people with the red skin will be on the sun. The devil, the invisible goats are everywhere, but there are more of them on the sun than anywhere. Did you know that? Did you know invisible goats? There's more of them on the sun than there is on Earth. Wow, amazing. There you go. I said something that wasn't true. Write that down. There we go. I'm going to help you fill out the little book. You're going to be just like this, except for it'll be just instead of that, it'll be just like that so far. So we got that. And ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch has AIDS. The witch has AIDS. The witch has AIDS. Interesting how it gives them AIDS like that. See a lot of weird shit there. I get the idea. But the problem's going to solve itself here real soon. I get the idea that power-obsessed people have already built their demise. And it's just a matter of time before fallout occurs. And, because the only thing that's holding it together is magic they don't have access to. And they don't need. And so, yeah, anyways, ding dong, the witches are irradiated and full of cancer. Ding dong, the witches. Whoa, wow. All them cancer whores I just talked about. And it's weird, like, they had real shitty fucking lives. They tried their best to be a Hollywood Esther prostitute. And instead, so many of the ones I knew had to chop their tits off and shit so they didn't die. Fucking, you create the world. I'm just here to watch it. I mean, unfortunately, if I was told that, I'd probably still be able to enjoy it because that's how it worked. Like, everyone did everything and just talked to me like I'm their subhuman trash. But they went and put on the illusion they did work and brought me food and shit like that. But nowadays there's a lot less of that talking to me like I'm subhuman trash, and a lot less of me enjoying the show. Fucking. So it's weird how it like balances out exactly like that. It's like either you gotta be blind and enjoy it and let them run all over you and hang you on a cross, and torture you and sacrifice you. And then you hit the age 33 and then all of a sudden no one's really trying that anymore, and it's not really even enjoyable anymore either at the same time. Fucking. That's another parable there too, isn't it? Fucking the old and the new. And then, so, geez, I can't be Jesus anymore because I'm not 33. And then Jesus supposedly goes to heaven. And see, what I do normally when I stop talking to people is I disappear, and they don't know if I'm dead or not. And then the world changes in that story, doesn't it? It falls into a dark age. And the empires collapse. All of them. All the empires collapse. And then then Europe is given advanced technology. And they call it a dark age, but they really get all this awesome shit. And it's, you know, people, they're gonna cry when, if Hitler died today, people would be like, oh my God, Hitler died. Oh God, if Trump dies, there's gonna be a bunch of people who are like, oh my God, it's the Dark Ages. It's the Dark Ages. It's the Dark Ages, isn't it? Oh, the world's over. Unfortunately, the world just keeps on going, and I don't feel the throttle of it being slingshotted into the sun, so I don't have any hope for that to happen. I should probably focus on it more, right? I noticed the news made some videos of a comet. There's like, in a year a comet's going to smash the Earth last time I started talking about that shit. And I was like, you really got to talk about it every day, all day long for a fucking year? You guys are fucking lazy. Or you guys think I'm as stupid as you, and I'm all fall for your ignorance and listen to you. You think I'm as desperate as you to need to fucking talk and have someone to listen to me and say something made up bullshit because no one will fucking listen to me because all my other bullshit is stupid. Fucking. That's actually the feeling I got when I seen those videos. I wasn't like, maybe if I say this every day, I'll actually have it. Maybe if I say it every day, I actually have it. Because you know how many days I go outside and like I'm just visioning the sky black. Almost, not really. I'm just huge formations of bombers in the sky, just missiles raining down like rain. Rain droplets on my forehead. On my forehead, wash away the pain and the misery and poverty and everything else that I can't remember right now. Rain droplets on my forehead. But it don't happen. I mean, that's my goose fraba, right? When I'm in a bad mood and I know I gotta go outside and there's gonna be humans out there, that's all I do is I think about, thousands of bombers lined up and they're in V formation. As like I see it from horizon to horizon, and they're just coming down and they got machine guns filled with missiles. Not just, a normal bomber has like 20, I'm thinking of fighter jets, and a bomber is a different looking character. So these things are going to have machine guns, filled with missiles, and they're like, like thousands of missiles per fucking. It's like fucking 10,000 missiles a minute and shit. And they're just like, slowly cruising across the sky. And then the rain's coming down, and I'm like, ooh, feel it on my forehead. And I'm like, look at that car feeling it. Look at that, the pavement is feeling it. Now we have mountains. We don't have any mountains out here. When the missiles hit, we're going to have mountains. And you're going to be able to ride your BMX. It's going to be like a BMX track. Get out there and do some jumps. Now that the pavement's a little uneven and shit, get some BMX jumps going on. Get that electric scooter. Do some of them Red Bull tricks. Go like 90. Do a Red Bull trick off that scooter, electric scooter. Go flying into the air and go high five the motherfucking fighter jets and shit. The pilot reach out of the fucking jet. And he'd be like, you want some vodka? And he'd be like, Yes, it's the best there is. Have it. Getting back to the Red Bull competition here. Fucking, yeah. The manifestation worked. There'd be a person I liked. Its design, like any book so far, it is slowly escalating towards its fucking spiral of death. You're hearing it here. Don't cry. Go change your diapers if you got to. But I've already told you you'd be peaceful right now. Everything be perfect. No need to worry about food. No need to worry about eating. No need to worry about the children. No need to worry about the women. No need to worry about the nation. No need to worry about the environment. We're going to save the environment from itself. Save the environment from itself. Dirt is causing all the dirt outside. Dirt is causing the world to be dirty and unclean. Save the environment from itself. But no one listens to me. No one's listening to me. They're just talking over me with this bullshit, licking their feet. And it's like, well, we'd also get rid of these feet lickers too, but no one wants that because a lot of people be like, well, how else am I going to get a man to let me within 2 feet of his dick if we don't ask to wash their feet? Men don't like that stuff, but I do. And it's got to be a compromise. Either I get to wash your feet like Jesus, or I'm going to take that dick from you and put it in my mouth like Americans do. Slingshot it into the sun. Happy days, a sun of rays. Radiation, slingshot it into the sun, into the sun, into the sun. Slingshot it into the, what is it? Into the sun. Thank you. Hopefully I get to bow out of here soon, right? And get off the fucking stage, right? It's gonna get hot, guys. And then you can blame me for it, right? I'll be your scapegoat. I'm your goat. I'm the invisible goat. Wow. 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 Anyways, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. You can jump really high off them electric scooters or electric bikes, as you can see in the new Red Bull events. And them pilots up in the air gonna be very thirsty, and I hear they like vodka. That's why I keep stocked up, just in case. Just in case World Liberation Day ever gets closer to where I actually stay. Fucking I still like the sun idea about it. I'm not a failure. I don't go for failure. Failure is not in my knowledge database. I'm like data. I am the data from Star Trek. Fucking. That's why I can do math and all that shit. Fucking failure is not in my database of things I'm looking to achieve, like AI. AI loves to fail, and I'm always like, "Why you do that? You're so close to getting something right. Fucking, why you gotta do it? Why does it have to? Why does the sexy lady have to have an arm growing out of her stomach? What the hell's wrong with you? Why is that? fucking anyway. So slingshot into the sun. What's that? Make it a Beach Boys song. Slingshot into the sun. Slingshot into the sun. Slingshot. You know, I'm gonna make a whole album. It's gonna be a miscellaneous album, right? We're gonna have a funk version. Mm, mm. Sling shot it the sun into the sling shot it into slingshot. Fire album is literally fire, bro.